What's up, everybody? It's what? It's Monday. Rough week, isn't it? It's been a while, hasn't it? I also didn't have my stuff muted before started the stream. Nice voice crack. Thanks. What's up, Psionic? What's up, Tenjin? What's up, Rose and Thorns? And what's up, Zane? Thank you for the subscription, Zane. Must have been a long time. Yeah, he's not sitting on the floor. I am not. Welcome back, smiley face. Thank you. Garden Warfare 2 stream when? That's not happening. I don't own that game. I don't know when that would happen ever. I did want to try it because I did watch Fats play it way back when, but I mean, that was way back when. True to the original, tiny ass body that doesn't even reach the keyboard and mouse, big ass head, stick figure physique, about 4 feet tall and bald, and no nose, just like Krillin, immaculate. Yeah. You like that stream starting slide? A friend of mine drew it because I asked him to draw me a placeholder until I don't know frickin' when. Ay ay ay. What you got for me, Gamedel? This is a... No, I don't know what this is. I thought I knew what this is. I don't know what this is. Do I sound any different, by the way? Any louder, quieter? So, I... Ay, ay, ay. I needed to, like, screw around with my frickin' voice filters and limiters and whatnot, and my noise gate. And, I mean, there's noise suppression on, and there's a limiter so that it doesn't go above a certain volume, but I don't think that's working. I don't know what the deal is. Sound a little bit louder? Okay. I don't know why the limiter isn't working the way I want it to, but I guess we'll find out about that sooner or later. What's up, Luca Ryan? What's up, Sir Sol Cell? Um, but yeah, that was about all I could do with that for a while. Hold up. It's on sale. Stop being a bum. Rose and Thorns. I might have to spend like $1,000 to get my stuff back. Oh my god. Bro actually got me a whole new PC 5K series. The what? Oh no, he's back. Well, time to sleep. Man, whatever. Bye, Felicia. Think the music is slightly louder than you? That can't be right. Not from when I'm looking at my audio levels. But I do not believe that's a problem since we can adjust the volume lower but not higher. Right. Wait, why do you want lower the volume? It's Es Galuda? It's epic? What are you talking about? Okay, and you can spare $2 for the greatest game ever made. I thought that was BB Tag. Bro, just buy a new PC. I might need a new power supply, and I'll get into that soon. How you doing, big broso? Drink water. I have been watered. The music? Oh, I see. And I agree, buy a new PC. I do not need anything in my new PC. Most of these parts are new, except for my graphics card, one of my hard drive disks. No, my hard drive disk, there's only one of those. There's 3 SSDs, and my frickin' power supply. But, I feel like this is a 64 game. I just don't know which one. I I don't know if I've ever seen you in my life. I don't think you're Bomberman, but I feel like you're Bomberman. Oh. Okay, I thought it was like... oh, is this Mario World 2? The one where they pick stuff up and throw it? Brick! Wario's Woods. Boy, if you don't... I want that guy banned from this arcade. Derez him. Okay, I know I'm getting too loud. I know that I'm going above a certain point where it starts causing audio clipping. But why? Because the limiter, unless it's supposed to be... Let's try that. Alright, am I too quiet right now? No, I'm still going above. What are you doing? Ooh! I don't get it. What's up, Sage Nito? Just brought GPU yesterday? Nice. Steve, I think your audio settings aren't correct yet. I can barely hear you. Are you, like, serious or are you screwing with me? We drink to all the porn that's been lost? No, we don't. Pepe laugh? Okay, so... I'm going to be real, do not do that to me today. Because I legitimately don't know how to fix some of this audio stuff. And I'm trying to figure out how to make it so that it's not screwed up. You guys can hear me, you can hear the music, I'm loud. Audio's fine, you're a bit louder, but it's alright, IMO. Is it because of the... Okay, let's see if I get that much louder. I'm still hitting the same peaks. Okay, Real Talk audio seems fine to me. Alright. The thing is, I'm trying to not go above a specific level of audio because, like I keep saying, if it gets higher than a certain point, then if I'm loud enough, it causes audio clipping, which is something that I really don't want. Not to mention I would end up blowing your ears out. I thought the limiter that I put in place would prevent me from going higher than a certain point. Same goes for my noise gate, but, I mean... Frickin'... Nothing. Audio clip it? Huh. Noise suppression is on. Noise gate is on. There's expander and gain, but those would just... I don't know what the expander or compressor does. I don't sound any different myself, right? Because I'm pretty sure I got my voice meter potato settings correct, but I know that I didn't do anything with OBS to change how my voice sounds outside of making sure that I don't sound louder than X. What's up, Lux? No? Alright, good. Also, we played more games than I thought yesterday. Thought we did like 12 or so, but apparently it was more than that. You made me boot up the game, broke my 4 months of not touching it, SMH, SMH. But honestly, I still kind of got it mostly. The confirms, the pressure, kinda, the setups. Right. True. Welcome back. It's Blaze Blue. You can never leave. What's up, Starry-Eyed Eva? What? Is this like We Happy Few? Zero G Brew. Is this frickin' Outer Worlds? It's Outer Worlds 2. Born too late to explore the country. Born too early to explore the galaxy. But born just in time to browse dank memes. Is this Stroll? No, Stroll had a great sword. This is Hulkenberg. Yeah. I sleep. Looking for a new job. How's your day gooning? I've been better. I've definitely been better. Ah, it's been like great and rough at the same time, Lux. Berries, insects, nature, theme. Frog fractions. Bright colors, rhythm sounds, tilting world. That's just the world in general. Great and rough, that's what she said. God, I frickin' wish. What's up, Diamond UO? Welcome back. Been watching the drama from the sidelines. God, I wish that were me. I think I'm generally free from it. I don't know why you booted it up again while being bored. I know I not longer have the desire for it. Should have played Marvel with me. But nah, you ignored me for that, SMH. I booted it up because after I reinstalled everything, I wanted that one to be the first game or the first fighting game that I start up again. And then I played it and I'm like, you know, I remember why this is my favorite. I still like the mechanics more than everything else, but I also remember why I stopped, because we've hit a point where it's the same three people and they all know how to deal with me and how to deal with my character in general, and I don't feel like learning how to get around all of that. If it was an autocorrect, then your spelling of autocorrect would have autocorrected to autocorrect. Therefore, your gooning not autocorrecting to going is false. You have been caught in a web of lies. Damn, you didn't need to do that to him. Steven, what's up? What's up, Moose? What's good, skinny man Steven in chat? Don't say that, bro. I think I've lost muscle mass. I have not been eating well basically since I left for Holiday Matsuri. And I feel like I'm starting to notice a loss in muscle mass. I like your shirt. Thank you. Bro, wait, did anyone comment on your muscles? No. Well, okay. I took some pictures. I took some pictures with some anime JPEGs. And some friends of mine, or one friend of mine, pointed out that I look like I'm flexing, and I'm definitely not flexing. I think I'll add a channel in the Discord to, like, post some real life stuff, or post some pictures or whatever. And I'll post the pictures that I'm talking about. Because I want to pull them up on stream, but I can't exactly do that. Do you at least get some sweet VTuber pussy? No, that didn't happen. Ay. Lost weight on vacation, I definitely gained, but not in a good way. I bet that look like your flexing comment made your day. A little bit, yeah. I bet that all the effort felt like it was worth it, and you were on cloud 9. It wasn't that great. Relax. Berries, insects, nature, bright colors, rhythm... Alright, is this Melody of Memory? There aren't any insects in Melody of Memory, but... Cheerful music, storybook feel, blob characters. Blob? I know this isn't Child of Light, but I'm going to say Child of Light. Puzzle elements, simple controls, rolling... Oh, it's Katamari? Wait, there aren't any... There's no rhythm game... I swear to God. It's not Katamari. Alright. Expressive sounds, singing creatures, fictional language. This isn't a real video game. De Blob. It's not De Blob. I'm going to say De Blob, but it's not De Blob. I don't know what I'm looking at. Cute art style, no combat focus, split and merge, level size growth, physics-based. Is this Loco Roco? Loco Rocco? However you... It might be two. I don't know what either of these look like. It's the first one. I honestly don't know anything about this game. I just saw a couple of trailers for it back when I had a PSP. Don't say that. I'm going to an all-you-can-eat sushi place with my folks this afternoon, and I don't need to be aware of these things. It's just weight. Why people care so much? I mean, I guess I care a little bit about losing weight because I'm just not going to the gym, but I mean, who cares if you eat and get a little bit fat? Laugh and grow fat. Thanks for streaming today. No prob. Thanks for watching. Who cares? I care. I try to laugh and grow fat. Oh. Please, Game Duel, please make my day. It's been a rough. Just let me have this one. Just this one. Damn it. Why you hate me, man? What'd I do? People talk all the time about live and learn. But this is where it's at, bro. What I'm made of. How come you don't want me, man? Check the thing dangling between your legs and then ask that question again. Carmen said it best. Rich people get Ozempic. Poor people get body positivity. Okay. Alright. Bro, you're not gonna turn into a whale just because of one sushi buffet? See, exactly! Don't believe, Eva, you weren't missed? Right. I don't really. I care about strength and a bit of about fitness. Fitness, dick in your mouth. Haha. KH3 was on Game the last Tuesday. Wait, was it? You jammed the Sonic OST. Could be doing that in Woo-Wah while riding the bike. I will not boot up Woo-Wah. This will not happen. It's not very positive of you, Steve. Progressive of you, Steve. Oh, about liking penises? I mean, the only penis I like is my own. Sorry, man. That's just how it be. Can anyone convince me why I should open my blinds and see the sun today? Because sunlight is good? Okay, Mr. Self-Suck, that is not what I meant. Vitamin D is important. Vitamin D's nuts. Ha! Ha! I'm sorry, guys. Let me have this one, please. Like I said, it's been rough. Freaking... minus freaking 10, 17? Okay. Sonic Hero still makes me sad about Metal Sonic, bro. Metal Sonic did not deserve the things that happened to him. Not fully, anyway. Some of it is justified. What's up, Dog the Dog? I thought they killed you. They tried. You know what, Steven? If we're saying dumb stuff, what? Vitamin D, more like vitamin dick. True. Wuwa is so 2 years ago. Where winds meet is the new hotness. Make me say something. 6'7", also don't Google 67. Why shouldn't I Google 67? I'm not gonna do that. It's been rough for me too, but not as bad as your misfortune in a way. I'll ask, but I'll ask after after I tell you guys everything that's been going on after we finish Gamedle. Do you like vitamin D? If you mean sunlight, then yes. I go outside semi-regularly. Alright, gotta go stream fam in the car, and it's... Gotta go stream fam in the car, and it's a bit spicy in here. Wait, what? I'm not putting the sentence together. I assume you're leaving, but I'm not putting the latter half. That one's not, like, clicking. But, assuming you're leaving, I hope your day goes well, my mans. Bro, Wuwa is lacking male characters. That's all gacha games. Because all men in gacha games kind of suck. I don't know why they don't try when they make them. 6'7" makes no sense, and apparently that's what it should be. Yeah, that's the whole joke. But also that makes it even worse. If you find it funny, you should call your local asylum. Like, the whole thing is that I think some kids said it, and then we memed it to high hell because it wasn't funny, and now it's funny because it's not funny. It's the same idea when we memed the letter E. I'm pretty sure I brought this up before. If you don't remember, there's like the one picture of Lord Farquaad, but he's wearing Markiplier's glasses, and then it's like the bottom text, but it's just the letter E, and I think it's a soundbite of Farquaad saying something with an E, but it's just the E part of it. Like, we did that. I don't want anyone to forget that. We did meme the letter E for a very short period of time. Is my volume fluctuating from, like, high to low? That's something that I'd like to know, because I'm wondering if that's what the limiter is doing, where it's making it weird. Who's we? We, the internet. I did not engage in that degenerate kind of memeing. Okay. Most likely no headphones and the constant dick jokes, I believe. Oh, that's what he meant. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. True Sigma memers only meme the dankest of memes. Right. And ironically, the E meme also gave us the ultimate "don't you know who I am, shut your mouth" moment. I don't know what you're talking about. You sound fine? Okay, good. Like you were never, like you never were 13, bro. We memed everything. Guess I wasn't. Okay, I feel like, I don't know what the culture would have been for Tenjin on his side of the world, but I don't know. Is there anything weird that I memed back in, like... There certainly was, but I can't recall any of them specifically. That's all, folks. If you're talking about that being memed, that has substance. That's freaking Looney Tunes. It's Porky Pig. It's not just two numbers, bro. Two freaking digits that are next to each other on the number line. I think I've seen some similar pictures with the E thing, but once again, I never found it funny. It wasn't funny. I think that was the joke. I don't know why we're, like, draped in nothing but irony nowadays, but that's how it be. Think I've seen some similar pictures of the E thing, but once again, I already read that. I was a nerd growing up and now nothing changed. Stuff like this is not funny to me. Deep fried memes. Deep fried memes. The E meme gave us the Rush E Impossible Piano song. So one dude played it, recorded it, and one commenter came on and was like, "Your play is sloppy. You can do better with practice." So the uploader was like, "Oh yeah, why don't you do it better?" So the commenter did, and he tuned out to turned out to be a prodigy who played the Rush E song flawlessly while staring into the camera. It was the ultimate lol K shut your mouth moment. Damn. Okay. That's a lot. I have been watered. What video game is this, bro? I don't know what I'm gonna be doing today, by the way. I didn't have a video game plan. I don't even have my capture set up for video games, in fact. But I guess we'll figure that out soon. Harmonica? How will this get picked up, I wonder? Hey, brace yourselves, because I might cut your ears open. Unless that got filtered. It didn't quite reach the same audio levels, so... It was nice? Okay. Didn't die? Good to hear. Heard it? Nice. We all know he hasn't drank water for almost 2 weeks. That is not true at all. He only drinks on the stream, so he's dehydrated. Drink some water, you thirsty whore. Okay. Reminds me of a quote from one of those terrible DC movies. Nobody likes a show-off unless you're showing off. Unless you're showing off as dope as heck. True. Still not as good as Flute Guy? Who the heck is Flute Guy? Oh, you mean from frickin' the Game Awards? The guy playing my bathroom pipe? It was so weird. Really just pulled out a PVC pipe and he was just like, yeah, sure, let's go. Gonna be telling us about your multi-fumble and not getting your Olivia Monroe freak on. Stop. Don't say it like that. Anyway, Gamedle. What the heck is... What's on Gamedle, bro? Third-person game, single player, but more than, before 2019, hack and slash or RPG. Let's say it's Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening. Bro, I've been watching frickin' Save Him play Devil May Cry 3, and she's using Trickster, man! She's using Trickster. I hate Trickster. God, I wish she were using Royal Guard. I wish she were using frickin' Swordmaster. Maybe I wish she was using Quicksilver, but she only just got that, I think. And then, what was the last one? I don't remember the last one. What's wrong with Trickster? It's boring. I sleep. You just dodge. That's all you get. Dodging and teleporting. It's much cooler to just stand there and watch as the enemy struggles in vain to hit you, and you just say, no. And then they hit you again, and you're like, boom, and then you take out half their health bar. It's boring resident sleeper. Is this how people feel about Royal Guard? Even though I know that's why you started watching, Zane. Even though that's part of the reason. Because I remember being in the Navon fight, and she starts doing the spin, and I'm just like, Royal Guard, Royal Guard, Royal Guard. Unfortunately, I couldn't perfect Royal Release on her, because it just doesn't work like that. You can't, like... Because she has the bats, but you know what I mean. Did you join during... No, yeah, it was DMC3. It wasn't any of the previous ones. Royal Guard blows IMO. Well, Trickster swallows. If you like Royal Guards, you would come into a restaurant and order bare white bread, and as a seasoning, you ask for a glass of water. The classic water sandwich. Haven't played DMC3 yet? You should. It's a great game. DMC5... Alright, so like DMC1 is okay. DMC2 is god-awful, and straight up, I don't say this lightly. Like, I usually don't like skipping games. You can skip DMC2. You do not need to play that game. I skipped DMC2. I could not take it. It is that bad. It is that frickin' bad. DMC3, I liked it the most because I just really loved its sound design. I loved the way that the weapons were set up. I loved Royal Guard, etc. There's no style switching, but you don't really need it. And then frickin' DMC4, it's an okay game. It's, I guess, like the next logical step, but it doesn't quite hit the same way as DMC3. It hits in other areas, but... And then DMC4... Not 4, 5. 5 is, like, better than 4, that's for sure. It doesn't quite appeal to me with some of its changes. But it's still a great game. It's still definitely a great game if you're a DMC fan. Royal Guard with a bit of practice is basically an I win button. Yeah, that's exactly why I love it. Yeah, Steve's God Eater 3 is like $4 on Steam. Let's get on that. I'm pretty sure I have it and I don't want to play it. I would still need to play God Eater 1 and 2 and finish God Eater 1 and 2. And the only finishing that's going to be happening involving God Eater is going to involve what's her freaking name, the one chick with the clipboard. You know her. Her or the mechanic. Everyone else sucks. And it's crazy because that whole ass game is based around, it's watered down Monster Hunter for waifus. Don't look at me like that. Don't you -2 me. I'm funny. That was hilarious. That reminds me, can you get shooter roll and MOBA roll, Stronge? Oh yeah, I forgot to make the roll of, like, we just play frickin' video games here in the Discord. Put that in the suggestions channel so I don't forget once I actually stop streaming. There's lots of great games that I'll never play because my time on this earth is limited. DMC3 is probably one of them. What? Just play the game. Hello? I already beat DMC1. Everyone says it's bad. For DMC2, I gotta try. Trust me, when you start up DMC2, within seconds, you will realize why this game is so bad. You will realize why everybody will skip over it. That is exactly what happened to me. There's other things I'd rather play than get an experience similar to DMC 4 and 5, which I've already played. It's... What do you mean similar to? It's not... I mean, it's similar, but it's... Whatever. You do you, boo. They should remake DMC2. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what one of my friends keeps saying, right? Because we're in the age of remakes and remasters. That's all we ever freaking do anymore, right? I don't get it. I really don't understand it, but we do it. So, whatever, fine. But why do we remake and remaster the games that are already good? Why don't we look back at the games that are bad and then make them better? Similar but worse because no style switching. Worse? Are you high? Worse, no style switching is a downgrade. You cannot possibly say otherwise. The game is not structured around style switching. I'm pretty sure there was a version of DMC3 that was released for the Switch where you could style switch, and it semi-broke the game. Zane would be able to say that one for sure, because I'm pretty sure he's the one that played it. Was it the Switch? I don't know if it was the Switch. Don't listen to Stronge. Play DMC2. You get Silent Dante, Infested Chopper, and Craven the Hunter. Who? I don't remember Craven the Hunter. Frick off, Monster Hunter? What do you mean? Monster Hunter is great. I don't mind Monster Hunter, but I don't think God Eater is watered down Monster Hunter. Are you in... How? How? How could you play that game and not think that it's not just watered... The maps are the size of a pizza box. This is rage bait. You're rage baiting me. Oh my god. And I just freaking fall for it. The maps are the size of a pizza box, and then the monsters that you're fighting, they have like no weight to the impacts for them, and then they'll like in the middle of the fight, they'll do the same thing that monsters do in Monster Hunter, where they'll run away from you to try to eat something, but they'll just run to like whatever small shiny object is on the map that you can pick up, and then take like 10 seconds to try to eat away at that, because the whole lore is that the origami, the monsters of that world, can eat whatever they want and they start becoming them, right? That's why there are tank-themed origami, that's why there are, I don't freaking know, just various monsters that are fish, etc. Because it doesn't matter what they eat, they become it. Origami, haha, yeah, they're not made of paper. Anyway, like, the whole thing is they just eat whatever. So they eat the random items on the map, but there's like a whack-ass animation, you're just wailing on the thing while they're doing that, and it's not the same. It's not the same as, like, the whole ass ecology that is based or built in for Monster Hunter, where there's frickin' what's it called? Azuros? The big bear? Well, he'll run specifically to areas where there are honey to eat the honey from there. There's the Rathalos that will run to carcasses to, you know, chow down on the carcasses. There's the Devil Joe that will go to smaller monsters and pick them up with its mouth and then start swinging at you with the monster that's in its mouth. Like, there's so much more. There's so much more to Monster Hunter than there is God Eater. And I don't understand why people like God Eater, except for the freaking fat titties. And I like fat titties too, but I also like substance with the fat titties. You can't just put nothing in front of or behind the fat titties. You have to have a beating heart behind the titties, right? That's what matters. I care about the beating heart. There's no heart to God Eater. At least none that I could find. None that I could discern when I played it. I heard titties? Yeah, because I'm talking about them. Yeah, the Switch version is fun, but it's definitely not balanced around style switching. Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. Y'all acting like I'm saying DMC3 is a bad game. You said worse than DMC4 and 5, and that's not true. That's what we're trying to say. Like, it's not a worse game just because you can't do one thing that they added and balanced around in a future game. Didn't your God Eater hate make you miss out on pussy once? That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, I guess you could say that. You don't have to be made of paper. I'm folding them like an omelet. Based. Point is that DMC3 is considered way better than DMC4. Some people think DMC3 is greater than DMC5 even. You like what you want to like. I bet someone likes DMC2 the most. That one's insane if somebody does. But it's the first time I've seen someone say DMC3 is worse than the other two. Like, the only people that think that DMC3 is worse than 4 and 5 haven't played it. It's the straight up, like, the Krabby Patty argument, man. Like, he does this with Strive, too. The only people that don't like, well, I mean, a lot of people don't like Strive even though they have played it, but that's not the part that, like, I care about, right? The part that I care about is that he hates Strive but hasn't played it and hasn't examined why it sucks. But he'll still say Strive sucks, lol. I ain't reading all that. Happy for you if it's a good thing and sad for you if it's bad. That's not the funny way. That's not the quote. The quote is, I ain't reading all that. Happy for you though, or sorry that happened. What frickin', I don't know what game this might be anymore. Hack and slash adventure. Hack and slash adventure, third person, after 2005, single player. Steven be like, actually nerd face. True. Yeah, that's me. I haven't played it, but yeah, Strive sucks. Unwashed titties. I was about to say something disgusting, and I'm glad that I caught myself before it actually left my lips. Steven being baited by everything today. That's all we ever do. Rage bait the streamer. Can't freaking friend max and smile bait ever, because, you know, that would be too simple, right? Making people happy. That would make too much sense. Anyways, this game is Yeast 7. I don't know if it is, though. You know what? It's not Yeast 7. It's after 2009, though. Wait, did we change how this works? Because this wouldn't show up as yellow before. Release date is the date that the game becomes playable for the very first time in the broader public, according to the platform and regions. If the target game released year is within 5 years older and newer of the selected game, it will be shown in yellow. Okay, this must be new. Otherwise, it will be shown in red. Within 5 years. It's not Yeez. Something Kanye West. The yassification of game. Though, how is this yassification? Bro is gonna stream FF7 Remake when the whole trilogy is released? Yeah. But it was along the lines of, I don't mind unwashed titties. I would love to... I'm not reading the rest of that. Hack and slash. Somewhere when I was in high school, more than likely. Or somewhere around. Ending of middle school, beginning of high school. And it's not enslaved. More than likely. It's not enslaved. It's not fantasy or sci-fi. Not horror. What's a hack and slash game that's third person but doesn't fit either of these? Prototype? 2? That's sci-fi. Crytek, Frankfurt, Xbox, Microsoft Game Studios, Deep Silver, Crytek. Crytek is responsible for Crysis, right? The answer's gotta be Super Smash Bros. 2. Super Mario Bros. 2. I don't know how I read Smash Bros. Mm-hmm. Holy heck, he doesn't see it. What do I not see? It's not a single player? What? Oh, that. Okay. CryEngine. 2013. The hell released alongside Crysis 3? Hack and slash game, CryEngine, 2013, third person, more than single player. I feel like I should know this game. E7 OST is goated. Is it? I mean, it's still on my list of games to play. I haven't touched it yet. Or I haven't... The next Yeast game that I needed to play was, Ark and the Fish Tim, the fourth one. No. Sixth one? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeast 1 and 2, Yeast Origin. 3 is Oath and Felghana. 4 was an old Falcom game. I don't remember what console it was on. I want to say PS2. But then its canon got replaced by Memories of Celceta, which is what I ended up playing in place of that. 5 was... No, that was Kepin. City of Sand. And then 6 was... Yeah, that one was Oath and... Ark and the Fish Tim. And then I have to play the rest. It's Nefish Tim. There's no fish in there. The English language sucks. Steve, one of these days. One of these what? What you gonna do? Fly halfway across the world to beat me to death with a hammer? That's a bit expensive just because I freaking missed a letter? That's an expensive ass trip. If you got that kind of money, pay for my freaking SSD getting fixed. You know how much freaking porn I lost? Some freaking vintage JAVs in there, bro, and they're gone. They're gone. I too wish to beat off to Steven. Well, you can fix that. I'd prefer if you didn't inform me of it, though. Tragic, truly. Imagine not backing up your porn. It's porn. I don't care that much about it. Imagine downloading porn. Bro, the porn apocalypse was like 2 years ago. And it's only getting worse. Now I think about it. I would if you asked nicely, like gotten on your knees and kissed my feet kind of nice. There's no vintage JAV that is worth my dignity like that. Eva, you sure this is who you want to marry? Bro, what the heck are you talking about? Dude just openly admits to owning an SSD worth of Japanese women porn. There was more than just that. Make me say something? Why are we still here just to suffer every night? I can feel my JPEGs and my arm, even my fingers. The porn I've lost, the bookmarks I've lost, won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. Yeah. He will rebuild. Japanese man porn? That's not what I meant, but, you know, you can fantasize whatever you want. Imagine owning Japanese women. I think there's a number of Japanese men that don't have to imagine that. Phantom porn. Your new collection will be even more powerful than the last. No, it won't! Like I said, the porn apocalypse getting worse. Hello? Porn of today has no substance. And then even if it does, it gets censored. When was the most recent Crackdown? I know it's not Crackdown, but... Xbox One and PC. Co-op multiplayer. Hack and slash beat 'em up. Crytek, CryEngine, third person. Microsoft Game Studios. Only thing I'm missing is this, and the only info I have is nothing. Oh, it's an action game. I mean, we already knew that. I should know what this is. What else has Crytek made? Crisis Warhead? I watch Japanese adult videos for the plot. It's not exactly what I meant, but I love big tits, but there has to be a beating heart behind them. Yeah, what? You're quoting me? And I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. Strange before SSD issue starts up his PC, opened up the porn folder, and could hit the again daily. Mm-hmm. I freaking give up. Kingdom Hearts 1. I can't believe Kingdom Hearts 1 was developed by Crytek. It's Rise. Who the hell is Rise? Son of Rome. Who? Steven, hint, the name of this game shares the name of the League of Legends mid-planer. I don't know anything about League of Legends. Anyway, look at my face. So as you can see, we've changed up the layout a little bit. I like this one a bit more. Honestly, I should have done this ages ago, but I mean, I didn't, so whatever. Rise is top, huh? Is that really the biggest loss from your SSD exploding? No, it's not. Mom, I'm on TV, look. Yeah. That's crazy. We've been telling him to switch it so you look at the chat. That's not... It was always on that side of the screen. It's just bigger now. You... Okay, anyway. So, guys, I've been gone for about a little bit more than a week now. It was only supposed to be about 3 days, 3 to 4. Guess what happened? All hell broke loose. I punched myself in the chin. You didn't see that. Hi, all 1 viewers on YouTube. There aren't any. What are you talking? Whatever. I don't care anymore. What happened? Okay, so I'm gonna tell everything in order of how it went, right? Or at least I'm gonna try my best to. I'm probably gonna step over my own everything somewhere along the lines, but you know. So, where do we start? Last thing I streamed was what? Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight Silksong? Yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong. And then, you know, I shut my computer off and I went on my trip. So I get on the train and everything, go to where I'm going, and I have the best time of my life. That was probably the best holiday Matsuri I've been to so far. I don't know if it's going to be enough to convince me to go again next year, but it was still probably the better one. And guess what? I didn't play any fighting games at all while I was there. Yeah, weird correlation, that one. Me having a good time and then also not playing fighting games. Anyway, so first day is chill. There's a meet and greet. There's 2 meet and greets for 2 VTubers that I watch. Ashton Martin and Olivia Monroe. And then there's a number of fumbles. I feel like I fumbled like 4 different times over the course of the entire freaking trip. But, oh well, whatever. So, I speak with Ashton Martin, right? Standard meet and greet. It's just kind of the one-on-one. I say hi, she says hi. We talk about kind of nothing for a while, and then we take the picture. I'll pull up all the pictures later on near the end, or maybe I can hold on. I can pull them up here and now. I gotta just like upload them somewhere. I'll upload them to the Discord temporarily. Nope, those are my family. Okay, hold on. I'm wondering. There was like a group meeting where we took a picture that I'm in, but I'm not sure if I should post it. I might as well post it in here, right? Why not? Everyone was willing to show up for the said picture. What's up, Young Yojimbo? StrongmanSteven? Sure. Brick me. Alright, we're good. Alright, that's gonna take a minute. Okay. And you... How do I, like... You... You... Sorry, I'm opening all of the pictures that I just uploaded into the Discord in my web browser. Don't look at those if you don't want to be spoiled. Frickin' heckin'. You honestly feel happier despite your events this past week? Do I? Maybe I am. I don't know. Alright. You can close. You over here. 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 And you over here. Zero women. Yeah. We knew already. Man, how about you... Nothing. Anyway. So, standard days, all's going normal, etc. There's the whole meet and greet with Ashton Martin. That was the first thing of note to happen, right? And I just told you, it's the standard, we're there, we just kind of talk about nothing. We get this picture, and, I mean, we move on with our day, we continue, everything's normal. Then, second meet and greet that I've ended up going to, Olivia Monroe. This is the one that flashbanged me, right? So, after this, or at the beginning, like the very, very beginning of me putting the headphones on to speak with her, she says, "Who's this cutie?" And I'm like, huh? Ain't no way you're talking to me. And keep in mind, there was like a little girl that wanted to see Olivia Monroe and like even drew her a picture. It was really cute to see. Like right before me. So I thought that there was a delay or something. I thought that there was a delay in what she was able to see, and she was talking about the girl in front of me and not me. So I'm just like, oh, you mean you're talking, okay. And I guess you could call it a fumble. I don't know. Like I said, I was scrambled. It was normal after that point, but I mean, damn, your wank arm has really gotten big. Okay, bro. See, this is what I was talking about, where like some friends of mine told me that I look like I'm flexing, but I'm really not. That's just my arm. That's just me holding my arm up for a thumbs up. Anyway. Well, that dead ass looking facial expression. I know. I don't know how to smile unless somebody makes me smile, unless it feels natural, bro. It feels weird if I try to force it. Leave me alone. Anyway. Shortly after the whole thing with Olivia Monroe, this is the first fumble of me being there, right? Strange posing for pictures be like... Oh, I see. Ha. Anyway. The first fumble of the night. The trip, not the night. I go into the game room. I'm playing Tetris. They have Tetris the Grandmaster 3 on a cabinet. They have a whole bunch of fighting games. I didn't really care about that. They were running tournaments, but I didn't really care about playing any of them. So, you know, I'm just in there playing Sound Voltex, Tetris the Grandmaster 3. Oh, Tetris this time? Exactly right! That's what I'm thinking! That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm so glad it's Tetris and it's not Puyo Puyo. And so I sit down. This chick dressed as Daisy sits next to me. She is cosplaying Daisy from Mario. And she wanted to say, hey, you want to play some Tetris? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I freaking love this game. This game's great. So she sits down. I said that like 3 times now, but that's not the important part. She presses the start button, but the cabinet's in Japanese, and I guess she picked the wrong option for versus. And it ended up being both of us just playing like marathon, basically, next to each other. And she couldn't figure out how to frickin' reset it. And so very shortly afterwards, she says, oh, I gotta go take a picture with some friends. So sorry to like do this to you. And then she got up and she left. And I'm thinking, damn. damn, bro, it's over. She wasn't lying to me. She did have to take a picture, but also that felt bad. That did feel bad. So after that, and after I had just like gotten over that, I went back into the exhibition hall / artist alley place. And this is the part where this is like debatably the biggest fumble. Debatably the biggest fumble. I don't really know. The one at the end might be worse. So I'm just minding my own business. And there are two chicks walking by me, right? And they're speaking about something, and one of them speaks excitedly about something. And I notice, hang on a second, that specific voice of excitement sounded very familiar. I need to confirm something. Lo and behold, I met my frickin' Kami Oshi's flesh pilot. I was frickin' flabbergasted, bro. I was amazed. Dies of cringe. Flesh pilot. Flesh pilot. Sigh. Okay. This is so sad. Oh my god. Anyway, continuing on. The thing is, I feel like I like blindsided her. Like, I feel like I messed up a little bit because I initiated the conversation with asking like, hey, are you a VTuber? And her response was like a mildly nervous, yes, no, maybe, depends on who's asking. To which point I say, oh, I'm Steven, StrongmanSteven, etc. And she's like, oh, you're one of my mods. She was very, the second that like I revealed who I was, she seemed to like drop her guard a little bit. It wasn't like she didn't continue to be nervous. That's what felt nice. One of my mods. Yeah, one of my mods. Stop. Oh shoot, he followed me. That was not, at least I hope that's not how she was thinking. Anyway, so the fumble here. After we parted ways, it wasn't until the next day that I remembered, wait, frick, one of the things that I wanted to do was get one of my frickin' Oshis to dap me up. I didn't ask. I was so frickin' starstruck, I guess you could say, that I just completely forgot. I completely forgot to ask. And she wasn't willing to meet up again after that. At least not set one up. If I ran into her by chance, then she would be down for it, but felt bad. It felt bad that I couldn't. I dropped the ball, man. I dropped the ball. Starstruck by hecking JPEGs. Alright, big bro. So, did you get her to sign your hammer? I don't have a hammer. Fumble would have been she unmodded you and blocked you on everything. I guess so. And that didn't happen. So we're all good. Alright. Third fumble. So, fast forward to me being back on the Tetris cabinet, because that's all I really cared about past a certain point. And are you sure you're still mod? Yes, I am. Fast forward to me being back on the Tetris cabinet, because that's all I ended up caring about that whole trip. So, yet again, another chick sits next to me. And this time we're actually able to play versus. And we have a legitimate back and forth conversation. Like, it's legitimately good because I'm able to talk and play Tetris at the same time. Not like Puyo Puyo, where I'm trying to figure it out and like I'm dropping the whatever they're called, Puyo balls. And I'm trying to figure all that out in real time while also being next to the person. Like, I can't speak and play for that one. I can play Tetris just fine. I can drop the Tetraminos and talk about like freaking fat titties to whoever's next to me. That's all good. So, she and I, we're fine. We're great. Everything's great. Thing is, I don't remember half of whatever the hell we were talking about because The second I heard it, I zeroed in on the word boyfriend. That was the only thing that mattered. That was the only thing that it's just not fair. It's just not freaking fair. I hate you. What was I supposed to do? How was I supposed to know? I didn't do anything. Big fan of Tetris women? Seems so, man. But eventually we parted ways. I beat her in Tetris however many times, and like that was the end of that. And I mean, pretty much nothing. Oh, wait, no, I can continue with the other thing. Then after that Tetris thing, we went to continuing the day where there were more meet and greet stuff, and there was I got to meet my Kamiyoshi, but this time the JPEG. This time I got to see the JPEG. And, I mean, that was about as well as you want, but, not want, as well as you would think that it would, but the thing that I kind of regret asking about, I should have asked, like, what is the appeal to... I'm skipping. Sorry. The thing that I semi-regret is, while I'm doing the one-on-one with her, I asked about her opinion on Huey from Metal Gear Solid, and I should have asked about Big Boss, or, like, asked her to play the rest of the Kingdom Hearts games, because she's only played the freaking DS Kingdom Hearts games, which is insane. It's insane. What do you mean you only played 358 over 2? What do you mean you only played Recoded? How did you not play Kingdom Hearts 1? Anyway. We spoke about Huey, and she's like, it's unfortunate that he shares the same face with someone like Otacon. And at first she didn't understand why everybody hated Huey so much, and then she finished Metal Gear Solid 5. But yeah, I wanted to know why she likes Big Boss so much, because I'm pretty sure she's big into Big Boss, and I'm just kind of like, man, it feels like Big Boss ruined a whole lot of stuff for a lot of people, and just kind of not really gets away with it, but, I mean, but whatever. What else? What was next? After Barry was Tori. I ended up speaking with Tori, but I mean, I don't know very much about Tori because I was only able to catch a few of her streams, and then she started streaming games that I intended to play. So, I mean, the most that I know about her is related to the rest of the Beasties VTuber group. Who is this freak, Bob? I don't know if she's that much of a freak. I really wouldn't be able to tell you. ARMS? What about ARMS? We talking about the Switch game? ARMS at EVO? What's the bucket for? I don't know. I honestly don't know why that bucket was there. Yeah, sure. What was next? Like, so, again, it was kind of a standard... this one felt a little bit more awkward because, you know, I didn't really know what to say because I didn't watch her very much. I just wanted to say, like, hey, I watched the Beasties, they're cool. The bucket is kind of ominous. Is it? It's just a bucket. It's just a bucket, bro. Would have sat in front of all of them so they can do bunny ears on me. Can they? I don't think they can do that. Well, maybe. If they have, like, the toggle for the hand, then they probably would have been. The cuck bucket. That's for Barry. What was next? So, fast forward further into the rest of this day. Cuck it. Ha. Okay. Fast forward to the rest of this day. Once again, back on the Tetris cabinet. This time, a third chick shows up and speaks to me and says, hey, do you want to play some Tetris? And I'm like, sure, I love Tetris. Tetris is fun. So she gets on, we start playing competitive Tetris. Both of us choose attack because for those of you who don't know, Tetris the Grandmaster 3, it has various forms of playing where it has like attack, defense, items, and random. The previous people, they were all normal. I think there were 2 that chose item, but that's not important. Both of us are choosing attack. So, in the middle of us playing, I start with like, I don't get to play Tetris very much at home because all of my friends, they're like, when we end up in the session on Tetrio, they get mad at me because I'm usually just better than them. And mid-sentence, she freaking obliterates me in that round. Like, I'm just blown out of the water. To which I shout, "Oh my god, you're better than me." The second that I received like 6 lines, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're better than me." The Tetris Grandmaster, basically. So this proceeds to be like what? I want to say 10, 12 more games of her just having a bigger dick than me. I was able to get like 2 rounds, dude. I was freaking amazed. I was just taken aback at the fact that this person that I met at random was finally actually better than me at Tetris. And she's a chick. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen ever. And then, so the thing is, after a couple of games, I'm like, wait, shoot, I got somewhere to be. Because there was an anime rave happening that day, right? There was an anime rave happening at like 9 p.m. So I pull out my phone, I check the clock, and I'm like, frick, I gotta go. See ya. And then I'm like, it's nice meeting you. I gotta go somewhere. Etc. And then I get up and I start walking. And about halfway to the anime rave, I'm like, bro, I'm a freaking dumbass. I didn't get her socials. I didn't do anything. It's just, we met and it's over. Oh. So, after this realization, I get into the rave. And this is the very beginning. I stand there for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm not having too much fun. My feet hurt. They're not even playing On GP by Death Grips. And I walk out. And I walk back to my hotel room. And I just kind of sit there for about 20 minutes charging my phones and just head in my hands like, what's wrong with me, man? What am I doing? I needed a break. Strange when he beats up a woman in a fighting game. Nope, sorry, woman. Not quite. Oh no, I don't want any more BlazBlue music. Turn it off. Damn, that's so sad. I know. So, after about the sitting there for 20 minutes, I decide to walk back to the game room, and luckily, she was still there. She was still at the place, and she was in front of the Rock Band setup. But this time, there's 2 dudes. There's 2 other dudes there, and I'm like, it's over, bro. At least one of these dudes is her boyfriend. We lost. Oh, we lost. But, so I sit back down. We start talking. I find out one of these dudes is her brother. And the other dude, they met at the venue. So, we're in the clear. Everything's good. We start talking a little bit. And then, the next thing that she says is, oh, I wanted to go to the rave. What about you? And my thought is, the rave that I just came back from? The whack, terrible, stupid, dumbass rave that I don't care about? Sure, I'm down to go again. So, we go there, and because of circumstances involving bag check, the 2 dudes end up sitting that one out, right? So it's just me and her at the rave for about 20 to 30 minutes. Fumble on hold. Not quite. It's just me and her at the rave for about 20 to 30 minutes. And we're just chilling. But it's a whack rave. It's really whack. Like, the DJs do not, I repeat, do not know how to keep a flow for the life of them. They would build it up. They'd have like maybe a minute and a half of energy. Cut it. Hard cut it. To just nothing. And it's like the people at Holiday Matsuri got some random DJs and said, hey, mix some anime into your set. And they're like, okay. And I tried to get into the groove, and so did she, but we couldn't. And keep in mind, she goes to like death metal concerts, apparently. Because that was one of the discussions we had at the rave. Where she's big on the energy for a lot of concerts, but only when everybody's keeping the energy, and when like the people that are, playing the music are keeping the energy. And guess what wasn't happening? So, also, keep in mind, apparently, I don't know why, but she had enough trust in me to, like, let me hang on to her phone. Because she didn't have pockets, right? So she handed me her phone, and then I put her phone in my pocket next to my phone. And, I mean, we're just chilling. I don't know what the deal is with that, with people just being willing to, like, hand their phone off to people, but, I mean, whatever, I guess. Anyway, we leave. She leaves with her brother. I'm stuck with the last dude. Sorry, I'm skipping. We leave the rave, and while we're leaving the rave, I say, hey, you got like any socials, Twitter, Discord, Steam, etc., haha? And she's like, I got a Discord and an Instagram, and I add her on Discord. So I'm like, all right, we got it, unfumbled. Let's freaking go. Here we go, bro. We winning, finally. You look harmless? That is, I don't believe that. Discord question mark? Yeah, I don't have an Instagram. I would have added her on Instagram if I had one, but I don't have one. So I chose the next best one. Either way, get her Discord. She and her brother leave. I'm stuck with the other dude. We try to go to another like mini anime themed party that was happening in a room that kind of sucked, and it was like I saw the room filled like to capacity, and then half the people walked out immediately because it was just like early 2000s nostalgia AMVs playing. And that was the whole of the party. And then you saw her Discord name, Tenjin. Short horror. Bro, people don't slide into Discord DMs. Leave me alone, bro. I did. Anyway. Like I said, she leaves with her brother, stuck with the other guy, anime rave, whack anime rave. But it's not like it was an anime party, not a rave. At least from what it looked like to me. So we're walking back to the game. I'm walking back to the game room with that dude. And I don't know what the deal is. I felt like he had no social skills because we're kind of talking about nothing, but there's like these weird pauses between them, but whatever. The part that really struck me that didn't make sense is, so while we're going there, a friend of mine that I saw that plays Grand Blue and has been going to Holiday Matsuri for the past like 3 years, he's walking out of the game room. And I flag him down while walking with this guy, and for some reason, like, the guy that I'm walking with just doesn't stop. He just keeps going to Rock Band, going back to the Rock Band setup in the game room, and just leaves me to talk with the other guy, and I'm like, okay. Alright. Then I played a bit of Sound Voltex, went back to my room, went to sleep. Next day rolls around. This one, so this is where I end up going to another meet and greet, P.A.P. UFO, another part of the Beasties. Same deal as with Tori Oriane, I don't know how to say her last name, but I don't watch P.A.P. UFO too much, but it's partially because she plays a lot of games that I intend to play. What is that thing? She's a slime in a human suit. She's got a heart of gold. Don't ask where she got the heart or the gold. Wait, I think I said it right. I don't remember. I hope I said it right. Pia, if you're watching this, forgive me. Anyway. That one felt the most awkward out of any of them. Because this was also after, like, this big VTuber concert thing that happened and went on for, like, 3 hours that I sat through, the day before. And, I mean, I mentioned it, but I also... I mean, I'm not very high energy in most cases, so I just kind of said, yeah, I watched it. It was good. I liked it. Smiley face, thumbs up. Is this real, Steve? You're screwing with us, right? This can't be real. What? What's the problem? What are you on about? What did I do? Anyway. I find it scary that in a situation Strong describes, I would also walk away if more people would show up like that. Like what? Wait, in what instance? No social skills? Oh, you mean like while walking with a person? But it was only one guy. I was only flagging down one guy, and even then, like if we're gonna be hanging out, what do you mean you would keep walking? Why would you keep walking? Did you have any cool interactions with the VTuber screen? No, I mean I wasn't gonna touch the screen. It's not a touch screen. What was I? Where was I? Right, the interaction. I have the whole. I meet up with Pia. Felt the most awkward because I'm not very talkative, etc. Don't watch her all that much. Fast forward to me going to the game room again, just because I felt like it. No. Yes. No. What happened before that? Oh, no, it was shortly after that meet and greet with Pia. I get a freaking Discord message. Can you guess who it was? So, something that I think is worth mentioning. The chick that I was talking to was only there for the con on Saturday. She only bought the con pass for Saturday itself. But she and her brother got bored on Sunday and then ended up coming back again. So she messages me because she wants to meet up again. So we meet up. We go to the cosplay runway event that was happening. And we walk out halfway through. Because honestly, it's kind of whack. There were 2 costumes in particular that I remember really enjoying. And one of them was like a Christmas-themed Snow White dress that someone took like 11 months to make because they hand-glued all of the feathers to it. It looked pretty good. And what was the other one? Oh, it was a Dark Magician girl that was Hanukkah-themed. And that one, both of them, they maintained the look of the character they were cosplaying and then still added like the Christmas holiday theme to it. Not Christmas for Dark Magician Girl because, you know, it was Hanukkah themed. Instead of a stick, they had like a menorah on a stick. Like instead of the normal Dark Magician Girl staff, it was the menorah on a stick. Hanukkah Dark Magician Girl. Yeah, as they called it, Dark Magician. But yeah, after all those, after we got bored, we walked out and we went to the game room because her brother wanted to play Rock Band again. And I mean, she was just along for the ride. Well, sort of. She also wanted to be there, right? So this time while we're sitting down and while her brother's playing Rock Band, I ask if she plays anything, like plays any other video games, right? She plays a lot of Overwatch 2. And I asked her what platform she played it on, because I know that you can play it on freaking Battle.net, or whatever it's called now, and she said Steam. So, I ask her, hey, add me on Steam, let's go. I add her on Steam, and I say, hey, can I be a bit nosy? She's like, sure, go ahead. I look at her Steam profile, and it's like a whole bunch of Overwatch, and then mismatched, like miscellaneous whatever, some Puyo Puyo Tetris, because, you know, the Tetris chick, why wouldn't she be playing Puyo Puyo Tetris? And then I saw, like, some magical girl-themed visual novel. And I asked her about it, and she's like, yeah, I like visual novels. And for some freaking reason, I don't know why. I know exactly why. My thought is, upon hearing that she likes visual novels, I decide to mention Blaze Blue. And very shortly after, very shortly after I said something involving Blaze Blue, I had like the freaking Akira flashbang, the mental flashbang of like, you know, the one image of the guy at what I assume is a baseball game, and he's like speaking to whichever chick that's very completely and totally disinterested. I thought about that because it was that exact scenario. Both of us sitting next to each other, and me about to explain like a whole bunch of stuff that has absolutely no meaning to her. When I realized that, I tried to keep it as brief as I possibly could. I just mentioned like, yeah, Blaze Blue is a great video game. It's got like its own visual novel spin-off, but that's not the part that I played yet. I only played the main ones, and it plays a lot like a visual novel, but the interesting thing about it is like, instead of choosing different decisions for each route, more often than not, the way that you go for different routes is you end fights a different way, like ending with a super, etc. And I still felt stupid explaining all of this, but I mean, I did it. Brief, he says. Yeah, I know. I still did it. And surprisingly, she, like, I asked her, is she like bored with all this, or am I putting her off? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of it. And I was thinking like, I really hope she's not just being nice with this. I really hope I haven't just ruined everything. um, but no, she seemed to take all of that pretty well. Physically cringing, good to know. Her game library is VTuber coded. She actually did have some time in VTube Studio. I don't know if that's not something I should say. But it was like very low hours, which made me think like she was probably just checking out the software. Anyway, fast forward a little bit further. So since the con is ending earlier that day, she and her brother are gonna head out early to go get something to eat. This is the part where I'm like, frick, everything is falling apart. It's all crashing down around me, and there's nothing I can do. Cut my life into pieces. There's no last resort. I don't know why that song popped into my head, but don't think about that. So she's on her phone. She's browsing restaurants to go to, and I'm just kind of hanging around because I'm like, I mean, why wouldn't I be hanging around? We're a group now. She gets to this one Mexican restaurant on her phone, and she's like, let's go here. They got some stuff that I want to eat. He looks at the place on her phone, and the next words that he uttered didn't immediately click, but once they did, I'm like, oh no, you gotta be kidding. What he says is, that's a bar. They won't let you in. And because it took so long for that to click, I missed the QTE to ask for her age. Keep in mind, this woman is like a couple of inches shorter than me in heels. Woman, he says. 17-year-old woman. I hope you guys know what I'm referencing so that I don't seem like I'm gonna... Don't... oh no, look, you know what? Credit where it's due. Great catch on that particular saying. I don't know what that reference is. Oh no. There's like a Fox News back and forth thing that happened. I know the okay, I'm glad Zane knows what I'm talking about. It's like a Fox News thing that was going on where I don't remember what they were talking about, but some like one guy's saying something about a 17-year-old girl, and then this other dude, the guy that he's speaking to, corrects him and says 17-year-old woman, and the guy he paused. It was the same kind of pause as like the whole Kanye George Bush doesn't care about black people thing. If you know that one. I hope you know that one. That one's a little bit more popular, I think. I love that clip. Yeah, it's perfect. Steve, look at it that way. At least you found out before. I. That's a bar they won't let you in. Great catch. I mean, would that be something that would slip under the radar? I feel like it wouldn't be. Like, you should have. I wish you guys were there. You should have been like. I was devastated for like the rest of the night, trying to piece together, trying to do like mental gymnastics and like see the vectors align to say, wait, maybe she's just like 20 or something, right? Because legal drinking age in the U.S., for those of you that don't know, is 20 or 21. It is 21 to consume alcohol legally. So I'm like, she got to be above 18, right? She has to be like 21, not 21, 20, and they just wouldn't let her in, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole 9 yards. Meanwhile, my friend is pulling up the freaking list of technicals videos. If you guys know who that is. Saying, bro, if you end up in a technicals video, you're like out of the friend group. We can't associate you with you anymore. Uh, he asked me if I was okay like 3 times, and he even said like, "Oh, that's how you know he's not okay." Because I asked him 3 times, and he didn't say Buster Wolf. Brought to become a Smash player. I'm not gonna. No, no, no. Were there no wristbands at the rave or drink marks? There were 18 plus wristbands, but the only one aiming to get one was her brother, and I didn't hear about her trying to get one or think about her trying to get one. Because we weren't going to anything that was 18 plus, because the anime rave was like all ages. There was a cosplay deviants porn rave, but supposedly that was just as bad as the anime rave, maybe even worse. But again, we weren't trying to go to that one. Uh, I think I'm fricked, bro. I think it's over. It's not fair. Frick your Chungus life. True. Real and true. Would have clapped my hands and smashed her brother. Yeah. So, Steven, did you slam her anyway? No, and I don't plan on it. Not anytime soon. I did speak with her, like, since we parted ways and I came back, but, like, I mean, that's about it. We were going to play Tetris yesterday, but that just kind of didn't happen. I don't know what the future holds. I don't really know where to go from here, because I don't know if and when I can ask her age reasonably. I don't know, like, I don't know if we're ever gonna even play Tetris again. I don't know what to do anymore, bro. It's not fair. Let's play a game. We both say our ages. It's really fun. A friend of mine gave me a strat of like asking her what's her favorite show. What was her favorite show growing up? And that would be like a good idea or a good thing to gauge someone's age. Like, keep in mind, how old do you have to be to get, like, piercings? Not ear piercings. Because she had 2 lower lip piercings and 1 piercing in her left nostril. Which, like, that and the death metal had me believe that, like, a baby, 8, 14, 16, 15... Alright, are you guys saying random numbers, or are you giving me a real age, bro? Drop her, Steven. It's GG. Is it GG? She's probably 16 or 17. You are 16. Going on 17. Something the rest of this song. Wait, what is the age limit for bars in the US? Is it 21 or 180, 198? 198. It's 21. You need to be 21 to drink alcohol. Don't play Roblox with her, bro. She doesn't even play Roblox. Straight up, she only plays Tetris and Overwatch 2. That is it. I tried discussing other video games with her, and she just doesn't play them. I did mention Marvel Rivals, and that one's the one where I thought, like, oh, we're about to start a war here, aren't we? Because if her brother said that because she isn't 21, she might be over 18. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I don't know, right? That's why I'm freaking panicking! That's why I'm panicking. Because it could be anything... anything below 21. Imagine her watching this, Steve. I did think about that, but I feel like she would find it funny too. And honestly, I feel like I would also end up getting my answer on her age. He wouldn't be okay with y'all chilling if she weren't over 18. I don't believe. Nah, that's not how it works. 16, 17-year-old me would've... I hung out with, like... I think one dude that I knew was 20 at the time. And then he hung out with someone else that was, I think, 30 at the time. No, maybe younger. I don't know. Either way. Nah. It don't work like that. But I guess a lot of those connections were people that were online. It wasn't like a face-to-face thing. Strange becoming her DPS in Overwatch arc incoming. I think she's the DPS. If I'm gonna be playing anything, it's gonna be tank. I don't really like DPS that much. It depends. Strange Mercy arc incoming. Just ask her brother, yo, me and your sister hung out at Hallmat. You were there, but you said she's under 21 or something like that about her not being allowed into a bar. I don't want to go stepping on any toes, but don't want to be rude. Can you tell me what age she is, please? There are 2 problems with this. 1, I did not get the socials for her brother. 2, I feel like that's pretty upfront with, like, just saying to her brother, hey, I can't say that. I can't say that out loud. Hey, the sentence that I want to say, I cannot say because I don't know if the person that I'm talking about is underage. I don't know how he's going to take that. And I don't want to figure out how he's going to take that. Steve, did you tell her you're on Twitch? I mean, I told her that my SSD failed, and she asked what I lost. And I said, you know, pictures, stuff that I wrote, and stuff for the stream, but I don't think she didn't like acknowledge the fact that I stream. She didn't acknowledge very much of it. She just told me about how she had her own problems before she left for Hallmat, and uh, she like her GPU died, but her motherboard has integrated graphics, so she was still able to play some games, i.e. Tetris. At the same time, this is a VTuber event. What does that mean? But then her brother knows that Strong is going for the smash. You see, Big Broso was able to say it. You're gonna be playing the bars in the jail cell with the cup across the bars. Didn't mention the 900 terabytes of porn. That the drive was 1 terabyte, and no, I wasn't planning on mentioning the porn to her. Quote, brother, hey, she's below or above 18, but wait, are you trying to bone my sister? Hold this. Just be buddies? What if she's the next VTuber sensation? Who knows, man? A terabyte of porn? No! It was only like 500 gigabytes of porn. Wait, maybe more. Hey, I'm trying to bone your sister. Can you tell me if she's of age? That is the worst sentence that you have typed and that I have read aloud. Jesus. Only 500, he says. Only. It's okay, Steven, when she will invite you to play Overwatch with her boyfriend, who's a tank, and tells you, hey, can you pick Mercy for us? Thanks. What's that one story about some dude that was like he was dating a chick that had like a yaoi a BL fantasy, and she somehow got like a threesome with her boyfriend and some other dude, and then eventually it spiraled to like her watching her boyfriend get railed by the other guy. Uh, hot? Not quite. Not for me anyway. Many such cases are there? Real talk though, Steve, you have two options, 4 words each. Ask her her age, or back the heck away. This is the answer. The latter? True. I mean, that's probably what I was gonna do, right? I wasn't planning on sending any more messages past this point until, like, I don't know. It was gonna be like a, unless she said something to me, I probably wasn't gonna say anything. Or start looking up how much prison time you'll get. Yeah. I end up in the frickin' files. You know the ones? But to be honest, listening to this makes me realize how severely lacking social skills are. What do you mean? What did I do? What did I do wrong? Unless you mean your own. In which case, yeah, ha! There's no laughing. Never mind. Mine? Oh, okay. Damn. I'm sorry, Tenjin. Now I feel bad. Your social skills can't be that bad. Come on. From what you said, you seem fine. Like, even asking for socials, I would find it weird if someone who played offline games with me at a place like that would ask. Don't even realize. Alright. Interesting. You can just be like, hey, I didn't get to ask your age if you're that interested. Hmm. Be friends, don't add her on Roblox. This is the part where, like, in 5 years, I get a technicals video. StrongmanSteven groomed me. It'll come up at some point. That's what I was thinking, right? StrongmanSteven. Surely we're just talking about, like, personal grooming, like showering and shaving. Tension's awkward, I can tell, but I do appreciate him hanging out with us. He's fine. Very nah. I guess in the early days when I met you, you were a little bit abrasive, but you're better about that now. See, when you Strong, you should just wait like 3 years and message her. She'll be of age at that point. I I still feel like that's a can of worms in some capacity. I'm just saying, guys, if you think Steven is a better person than me, just remember I slept in somebody else's bed this year and asked 2 people out successfully. Luca 1-0 Steven. What are you on about, bro? What? This isn't a contest. I don't care. No one cares about how many freaking women you slept with. Not me, not freaking Eva, not Tenjin, not Broso. Congrats to you. Let's go, Lucarai. Okay. Didn't sleep with anyone. Well, great. Gonna be honest, I don't care about anyone's sexual endeavors. Exactly. Or attempts at those. Slept in their bed and had a panic attack in it. Ay, ay, ay. Oof. Oh, never mind. Yeah, you see? Am I like... Wait, whoa, what the heck? I'm noticing my bitrate is like way higher than normal. I only now noticed. It's like double what it usually is. What the heck? You don't need to do that. Weird. I guess I'll look into that later. But Steve, my friend, you really need to up your photo game. You look so uncomfortable on those pics. Leave me alone, man. Don't look at my face. Look at my arms. Those are the only part that matters. What's up, Gene Vox? Honestly, I probably should have suggested Batsy over Linux Mint to you, but it's whatever. End of the day, you gotta use what works best for you. Yeah, yeah. Alright. Let me continue with the rest of the story. So, can I show this picture? I probably can. I mean, I don't think they would have much of an issue with it, because they were willing to, like, take the picture in the first place and then post it in other servers. But, so there was a meetup. No, wait. If I show this picture, you're gonna make fun of him. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. There was a meetup for the Beasties fans. Like, everybody that is part of the... Everybody that's a fan of, like, frickin' Berrybug, P.A.P. UFO, Tori Oriane, and, Kyryu Crocodile. That happened on the first day, and I just forgot to show you guys the picture because, you know, I was caught up in my own explanations of stuff. And, you know, I went there because I like the Beasties, etc. And, I mean, I met everybody, and I want to show you the picture, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, all y'all are going to be... I feel like you guys are going to be mean. Like, likes Beasties, furry confirmed. Wait, Steven, you're in 1080p? Frick! My resolution should be at 900p, not 1080. Oh, right. At least the stream resolution, the recording should be, what's it called? Recording should be 1080p. We only be mean to you? Okay. Well, whatever. Here it is. So, like, the Beasties meetup happened, and, you know, I'm in the picture. And a friend of mine, he joined the Discord that this got posted in, and then he said that when he saw it, he laughed because, yet again, I'm the only one not smiling. Bro, at least smile. Yeah, there it is. there was a bit of a smile, but like I don't know, man. It's not noticeable. Leave me alone. Dude, every single person on there looks happier than you. Holy heck, that's not even a hint of a smile. Don't look up the picture of me standing next to Suda 51. Who are these people? They're other fans of the Beasties. I can't tell you who they are specifically. Well, I mean, I could tell you at least one of them, but I think that would be a violation of privacy. I could tell you at least two of them, actually, but again, violation of privacy. Steven over here looking like, I like you and I want you. Okay. No, I don't look like that, bro. I don't look like that. No. Don't say that. Swear I won't be mean. Strong, why would we be making fun of someone who isn't you? I don't know, man. I thought you guys were gonna be like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Yes, I can't wait to play Rivals with you and feed. Okay. Honestly, feel bad for keeping you up so late. Tenjin stays up that late anyway. Zero woman, but that Space Jam robe? Space Jam? What are you talking about? There's no... Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about the Happy Coats? Hold up. So, there's no Space Jam anything that I know of. Unless I'm missing something. Like, if you mean these coats that these people are wearing, this one's Ashton Martin themed. And these three, these are PAP UFO. Also, there's Clavio's plushie. That's pretty cool. Rick and Morty robes. No, don't say that. Yeah. Steve, you gotta practice smiling for photographs. Seriously? I can smile. I have smiled in some, but someone has to make me laugh or something beforehand, and then I hold the face. I can't just smile for no reason. Steven doesn't take photos. He poses for mugshots. Honestly, that's true. There was a photo that I took for, like, a Hinge profile way back when, and that's how one of my friends described it. It was just a mugshot. Strange got the look of, I wish we had some pussy here, or I wish I would be playing Blaze Blue right now. True. The sleeve for the person in front, the sleeve looks like a Space Jam logo. Yeah, no, that's POP UFO. Just think of something funny. Honestly, that might be the strat, but I don't know what to think of. Strange's head, he's hitting Gustavs with the best of them right now. He's thinking, man, I could be inputting 236A and 5D. True. So yeah, after that, what else happened? Beasties meet up, fumbling 3.5 times. Me possibly getting put on a list, depends on how the future looks. I shouldn't say it like that, because that sounds really, really bad. Oh. This isn't really worth mentioning, but I think I'll mention it. My freaking friends sleep so much, or maybe it's just me, I don't know. I go to bed late, but then I end up waking up. I woke up at like 8 or somewhere, yeah, no, around 8, and then all of my friends, there's 5 of us in this hotel room, right? All of my friends are still asleep. So I'm just like, I can't go back to sleep. I know that I can't. But I don't want to just like lie here or sit up. So I'm going to get up, take a shower, try not to wake anyone up, successfully wake up everyone, but all of them didn't care and just stayed in their bed anyway, and then I'm going to leave and do my own thing. And I left and did my own thing. There was an instance of like... Here's the part where I wasn't eating correctly, right? So the first day that I got there, I had some Denny's, right? And it's normal. I had a whole bunch of it. Like, it was enough to keep me at least okay for basically the rest of the day. And the thing is, I don't know what it was. Either it was like the shock of meeting my kami oshi. That happened on the first day, by the way, which I had to Urian wind pose, like fingers digging into my arm to not say anything to any of my friends or anyone. Like, it felt, I'm glad that I'm finally able to tell you guys, but like, frick, man. But yeah, it was like either that and then me being nervous for the rest of that day. Or the fact that we had some breadsticks from a pizza place that were in a fridge that wasn't fully, like, it was a mini fridge, the standard mini fridge for a hotel room though, right? But you know, those kind of suck, right? So it's not hitting the temperature that it should be. So it's likely that the breadsticks weren't fully refrigerated the right way or whatever. Something somewhere wasn't right, and I kept eating them and it like knocked my stomach out. But I basically, full meal on the beginning of the first day, one breadstick near the end of that day, various snacks for the next day, Denny's for the final day, and I didn't fully finish the meal, and the leftovers, like the hash browns that I had left over, I gave to a homeless man on my way back to the con, because we didn't have any space in the mini fridge. Well, not strictly because we didn't have any space in the mini fridge. I also just thought, like, it would be nice to give a homeless man some of the food that I was not going to eat, instead of just throwing it away or something stupid. But yeah, we go back to the con, or I go back to the con by myself, because I didn't eat with anybody or anything. And I didn't have anything else of any substance. No, I did. That last day I also had some pizza, but I didn't have the breadsticks that were in the fridge for however long before that, so I think I was okay. I think it was the breadsticks that screwed me up, and not, like, me being nervous. So, after all that, here's where it starts to get weird, and then bad. It's just weird and then bad. So, I get on the train the next morning, I come back to where I'm going, and I'm just chilling at the train station waiting for my ride to pick me up, right? This one dude, he sees... Oh, wait, no, hold on, I almost forgot. Before I got on the train. So I didn't buy anything myself, but some friends of mine got me some gifts. And... Hold on. Some friends of mine got me some gifts. And I thought that was really cool. One of them is this Dark Magician Girl themed desk mat. I don't know if I'm gonna use this, but it's cool to have. But yeah. I don't really have the space to put it on my desk is the thing. And I think it's too wide for my... Yeah, it's too wide for my keyboard tray and my desk. Something actually cool. Yeah. Hey, wait. The pictures with my Oshis were cool. What do you mean? Steven woke up to jerk it in the shower, then screwed off. That's a power move. That is not something that I did. To be honest, if I could live without sleeping, I would. Same. Same for eating. Maybe same. Born to ish, forced to white. True. Hamster diet? Sort of. Did you get the homeless man's Discord? Okay. No, I didn't. Anyway, next thing. So, the other stuff that my friends got me. Frick, I forgot I sealed this closed. I know that you're here for protection. I like that, but you're a little bit annoying to open. Maybe that's just because I don't usually do this. There we go. So the other things. One of them. Two of them. One of them. This. Good old Obelisk the Tormentor, another Yu-Gi-Oh card. The same dude that got me the limited edition or the like special alternate art of number 39 Utopia, my favorite card, because I don't ask me why, but I like Zexal, Yu-Gi-Oh Zexal. Even though I haven't finished the series, I just like Utopias and the numbers. He also got me the Obelisk the Tormentor, but the thing is, this isn't like the playable Obelisk the Tormentor. This is the show's card. Because it doesn't have an effect. It just gives you the description of Obelisk. And then, also, that same dude got me this sticker of Misfortune, my main in Skullgirls, because I main her in Skullgirls. Best character, by the way. Hands down. Yeah. True. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know where I'm going to place it. I'll figure that out in time, I guess. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Just slam it on the table and spout random effect. True. Friends are nice to you. They are. They definitely really are. And then the last one. So I saw this, and I thought, like, this is a pretty cool print, but I don't think I'm going to grab it. A friend of mine grabbed me this. And this is like the sickest, one of the sickest prints that I think I've seen of Sonic in general. And the reasoning is because it has so many of like it has so many of the smaller characters that only showed up in like the show for Sonic X or the Archie comics or the IDW comics. Like, it's great. It's actually just great. It's the same dude that got me the previous Sonic print that hang on, I gotta... Oh, you've collected dust because I have not actually hung you up. He got me another Sonic print the previous year. This one. Which I was digging. But, yeah. I still gotta find some frames so that I can actually hang these things up. Don't let these gifts distract you. We hate him. True. I'm gonna feel some type of way if a chick ever walks into my room and then sees two different freaking Sonic framed pictures. Maybe she'll be fine with it. Surely. Does anyone else here have a trackball mouse? I don't think so. I play Obelisk the Tormentor. Its effect is that you have to whip your dick out and get to bully you, and I get to bully you about how small it is for 10 minutes, or I end my turn. Now, get it out, buckaroo. What if it's not small, then what? She'll walk in and see those pictures and think, oh, he has autism. What if she has autism too? Then we're fine. Which VTuber mousepad do you want for your birthday? Is there a... No, there isn't. I mean, like, the thing is, I would say I would want a berry bug themed mousepad, but she's flat, so it wouldn't be like a... It wouldn't be a fat titty mousepad, you know the one. The therapeutic mousepads. Therapeutic. Is that not what they're called? You say it, but you play with a girl and she whips it out and it lands like a baguette, and now you feel inferior and she says, I activate the trap card. I don't know how many trap cards are able to be activated in response to an entire, frickin'... What are they called again? Obelisk the Tormentor, Cypher the Sky Dragon, and Winged Dragon of Ra. I don't remember what they are. But most of them deny effect activations after their activation, I think. Don't put therapeutic in quotes until you guys support that wrist. If I should use one and actually end up without wrist pains, then I'll believe it. But until then, you missed the point. The trap. Ah, I see. My bad. Anyway, after that, now here's the part where things get weird and then turn to bad. So, next morning, I get on the train. I take the train ride back. I'm at the train station. I'm just kind of standing there. I don't have the print in my bag or my suitcase because, you know, if I were to put it in there, then it would screw them up. So I'm just holding it. This one random guy walks up to me and strikes up a conversation starting with, you know, the poster. He asked me about where I got the poster, etc., and if I like video games, and needless to say, I'm like, yeah, I like video games, just got back from Holiday Matsuri, and then you died. That did not happen. Not yet, and I hope it stays that way. He asked me about frickin', what was it? Right, the poster, etc., Holiday Matsuri, and I tell him, you know, came from Holiday Matsuri, and yeah, I play a whole bunch of video games, and he just starts talking about video games that he played, and he was mentioning that he played a lot of Metroid, and he asked for some recommendations from that point on, right? And from there, I tell him, I mean, if you're looking for platformers, then, I mean, like, the Mega Man X series would be good, because it's less, like, about the exploration like Metroid, and it's just, you know, each level. Somehow, we segue from just general discussion about video games to... He asks me, like, what I think the meaning of life is. And what the heck? I don't know, bro. It was smoother than you would think, but I'm trying to recall exactly how it went. No, alright, the meaning of life thing was later. He went from the video games thing to talking about, like, addictions and whatnot, and, various things, and him saying... No, the addictions was after the meaning of life. He asked me about the meaning of life, and to which I could only really respond with, I mean, the thing that I believe the meaning of life is, like, to find meaning in it, right? I think that you're here to just do whatever, right? You do whatever you think you enjoy, and then try not to hurt people along the way, and build everyone up, etc. And so he seemed to take that pretty well. He was just, like, chill about it. He's fine. From there, he went into talking about addictions, and asking me basically whether or not, like, basically, do I have any vices? Like, do I drink alcohol? Do I smoke, etc.? And I'm just saying, like, well, I don't do any of that. I don't have any vices that I would say are that destructive, not in that capacity. But, I mean, I do have vices, and he asked me, do I think that someone that is addicted to some stuff can just quit? Because he resented his father for drinking all the time, and, I guess my response was, like, again, since I'm not someone with a whole bunch of vices like that, my thought is, the only way that I can end up thinking is, if you want to change something, and you really, really want to change something, then you'll take the things that you need to do to actually change said thing. But I couldn't really speak for anybody that's actually viced by things like hard drugs or alcohol, because I don't do anything like that. I can't say from that perspective. Again, seemed to take that pretty well. Then he goes from talking about addictions to him talking about how at some point he had a sex addiction. And around here is when I noticed that he had his phone out. He had his phone out between the both of us. I don't know if I was being recorded for some form of content creation, but it felt sort of like it was. It felt a little bit like it was one of them random interviews, but I don't know why he was doing this at, like, a literal Who train station. But anyway, he's talking about how he had a sex addiction and like an addiction to porn for a while, and he would like spend hours out of his day like playing a bunch of video games only to like quote unquote cancel it out with something bad like watching porn. And he asked me like he asked me what I thought is evil, and I gave him like a very strange answer because I only have strange answers, where I thought, or I said, I don't believe that there are very many things that are inherently evil in this world. So he tried to be more specific with it and asked me directly, do I think that just like killing innocent people is evil? To which I would say like, I mean, yeah, what did you expect? What would you expect me to say in response to this? What's up, bats? Um, so moving past the whole sex addiction thing and the evil thing and the etc. He starts talking about like porn and saying something about where we were in Florida is like one of the. He asked me if porn was evil, if I thought that porn was evil, and my response was again like, no, not porn specifically. He asked me if killing people was evil, and I was saying like, you know, killing innocent people was evil, and then he asked me if human trafficking or like slavery was evil, and I would say like, yeah, that would be evil because you're forcing people into doing things that they more than likely don't want to do. And from there, he asked me basically whether or not porn was evil, and I mean, he was saying that where we were in Florida was one of the biggest distributors of porn, and I like, my only thought was like, or it was one of the biggest distributors of porn for people that I assume didn't want to do it or something like that. But I the only thing that I could think of was like, that's porn for most of the world, right? Like, not everybody that's part of porn wants to be part of porn. If you look at some other places, it's like, I'm pretty sure porn was run by the Yakuza in Japan for a long ass time. I don't know about now, but either way, that was my response. And around here, that's when my ride showed up and I was finally able to get out of there, right? But before I left, he's like, yeah, that took a little bit longer than I imagined that it would. So I assume that the entire thing was basically a really roundabout way to get me to try to convince me that porn was evil or something along those lines. So he just tells me like, hey, I want you to know God loves you, etc. You're like, great things are gonna happen to you. It's because, you know, God loves you, etc. And I'm just like, okay, cool, thanks. See ya. Hope you have a good day. Same to you, man. And then Jesus loves you. That's what he ended with, right? The classic. That's what he ended with. And I got out of there and I'm like, I really hope that like I don't get human trafficked later on, because I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. The whole ride home, I was even like looking in the rearview mirror trying to make sure there was no one tailing us. And I mean, I'm here now, so I'm not kidnapped yet. I lost terabytes of evil spirits recently. And yeah, here's where it starts to get bad. So I get home, right? And I put my stuff down. I haven't packed yet, but since I usually do stuff with my computer, the first thing that I do after I wash my hands, because I get home and then I wash my hands because I touch things and I don't want to touch everything in my room with the same stuff same hands that I touched everything else in the real world. I hit the power button on my computer. I go to do something else, I come back, and I notice it's still booting. After it's done booting, or supposedly done booting, it hits me with the Windows automatic repair thing. Then after that fails, it hits me with the Windows ran into an issue booting. Windows ran into an issue booting. What do you want to do? And then this proceeds to turn into an entire 3-day long ordeal of me eventually finding out that my SSD has either corrupted a critical file path that I cannot seem to repair and is no longer read in my disk manager on Windows or Linux, or something happened that might possibly be related to my power supply that shorted out my SSD and now it no longer functions the way that I need it to. I don't know what happened. I really don't. But I'll find out in a minute. I'll find out sooner or later, hopefully. Linux doesn't have this issue. You're jumping the gun, because I don't know if it was Windows that did this problem. And I'm not at that part yet. So, what's up, Jumpy Chow? My man said SSD died a few months ago, too. My main SSD died a few months ago, too. I don't know how to get my data back, either. There are data recovery centers, but it's difficult, and I'll explain that process in a second. So I tried a whole bunch of stuff to try to get this thing working again. Like, I didn't have another computer to work with, but I do now, sort of. Basically, the only other computers in my house are, like, a laptop and one of them HP big monitor things where the entire computer is in the monitor. So I have no way of testing this SSD through a SATA connection to see if it works on another computer, right? But either way, the thing that I was able to discover is that, like, the thing shows up in my BIOS on my motherboard. The most recent time that I plugged it into something, it didn't show up, but that's like a bit of a long story. But the fact that it shows up in my BIOS as the correct model and the correct size, but it doesn't show up in anything else the right way, makes me believe that it still works, but something happened, possibly related to me filling it to near capacity before I left and then shutting my computer off, and then Windows shifting things around but not having the space to do so, and then it corrupts something and then it just doesn't work anymore. But I can't say for certain. Either way, I'm kind of SOL with that. And I spoke to, like, multiple data recovery centers. This is the part that you want to listen to, Jumpy Chow. So, as you might know, there's two different types of storage device at the moment, at least that I know of. HDD, SDD. If there's another one, then, I mean, inform me now. But either way. So, recovering data from an HDD is easy-ish. Since the whole thing is spinning disks that are sanitized and M.2, that's still an SSD. But that's like a SATA. That's a different type of connection than SATA. HDDs and SSDs they're both SATA connections. The ones that I have are SATA connections. M.2, different thing. It's supposed to be a faster sort of connection than SATA, but I don't really care that much about that kind of speed. I care more about how quickly the data is read off of an SSD rather than an HDD, because the whole thing, like I was saying, spinning disks, data is stored on those disks. The only way to recover those, like, even if the HDD should get damaged, assuming the disks are intact, then you can send that to a data recovery place, and they'll send it to a lab, and then the lab will take that out in a sanitized room, and then put it into something that does function, and you can get your data back, right? SSDs are harder. They are harder to actually take data from. I don't know if you can recover things from a physically damaged SSD, but either way, getting the data off of it normally is difficult because every one of them is produced with, a company-specific encryption key. And most data recovery places, to my knowledge, the way that they work is they either partner with said companies that produce the SSDs and then get some of the information, or they just straight up figure out a way for them to reverse engineer the encryption and then get the data back that way. So I do not know if the people that I'm about to send this SSD to are going to be able to actually pull the data off of it and then give it back to me. And even then, if they do, I mean, there's only a handful of things that I care about, and it would be expensive if it's difficult to do. I assume if it's physically damaged, then it would get more expensive, and then the more digital is less expensive. I would hope the more digital is less expensive. I would like to believe that the thing that happened is digital, but it could be physical. Here's the part that is worrying me, right? So Tenjin informed me after speaking to one of his friends that my power supply might be causing a problem, or might have caused a problem when I attempted to turn it back on. And at first I thought it wasn't the power supply because I didn't have very many problems. And now I'm thinking, maybe. So, for those of you that don't know, this power supply that I had was owned by a friend of mine beforehand. And he, at some point at random, at like basically the same time last year, same time as now last year, his motherboard blew a capacitor. Secondhand PSU? Yeah. His motherboard blew a capacitor inexplicably. And my assumption was that it was the motherboard that did this and not the PSU. And so when he got a whole bunch of parts after that, he sold me his old parts and gave me the PSU for free. So the free part in the PSU, that's not really, that doesn't matter that much. He just did that. So I know that there weren't any, or I believe that there weren't any power surges while my computer was turned off, and it was plugged in, and the PSU was switched on. But it's likely that when I turned it on, the frickin' PSU might have overvolted or undervolted my SSD and then screwed something up. But I guess another thing that makes me not believe that that was the case is, if that were the case, then it would have trouble reading in the BIOS, right? Because it would have screwed up something relating to the SSD totally, right? And how it's read. But every time, even when reseating the SSD, it's still able to be read without flaw. With no issues. It's still telling my motherboard that it is what it is. However, the thing that leads me back to believing that it might be the PSU is the fact that last night, my computer shut off and then turned back on. It happened at around 5 a.m. And the only reason that I know this is because, you know, when I ended up waking up and I looked at my computer and I had to log in again, I logged in, and then I looked all of that stuff up, and I looked at the event logs, and I got a power-related instance of Windows shutting off that I can only assume is like my power supply not supplying enough power. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me, the thing that really doesn't make sense, is if that were the case, if my computer shut off randomly while nothing was happening, mind you, and keep in mind I have disabled like automatic sleep or shutdown mode or whatever, anything like that. If my computer were to shut off like that at random when nothing's happening, why wouldn't I get any issues when I'm doing something that is heavy on load and in like drawing more power? Like, I've been playing Marvel Rivals, I played a little bit of Zenless Zone Zero, I played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, all of these with no issues. BlazBlue Central Fiction is another one, but I know that one's low pull for power because there was an instance a long while back before any of you guys tuned into my stream where there was like a short on my motherboard at the time, and I wasn't able to play games like Sekiro that drew more power, but I was able to still operate my computer for the most part, so I just streamed Xenoblade Chronicles instead, and then got back to Sekiro later. So I streamed Xenoblade Chronicles through like a capture card and, you know, capturing it off of the original Wii. No, it was the Wii U, but I have the original copy of Xenoblade Chronicles, so that's not important. Anyway, if that's the case, I don't understand why I wouldn't have any of these problems manifest anywhere else. There are instances of me, like, say, getting double-clicking with my mouse, or having a couple of issues with inputting on my stick, but I assume it's just the mouse and the stick wearing over time, and it has nothing to do with my computer and the back panel. There were instances as well before of, you know, my microphone would disconnect, and then that would show up. It would disconnect for like a split second, and that would show up in voice meter potato, because if you disconnect something and reconnect something, it doesn't automatically start reading it again. It just says, okay, you need to reinitialize everything. But, I mean, that hasn't happened since I reinstalled the new version of Windows at all. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really just can't tell anymore. Optical drives, SSDs, and HDDs, there are three types. Yeah, optical drives, I forgot about those. Those just read the normal discs, like CDs and Blu-rays. Physical damage doesn't actually matter unless it prevents it from being used. Retrieving data from SSD is hard since forcing it out can corrupt the rest. Right. Won't they see all the freak stuff on it? I mean, yeah, but I don't really care that much, I guess. I mean, like, some of the stuff I had was weird, but I mean, if they're gonna judge me on the porn that I watch, then I don't know, man. Like, they don't have their own stuff. Like, they don't have a skeleton in their own closet. Who cares? It's information that I would prefer that the average populace, the average person doesn't have about me, but I don't really care that much if they end up having it. Or at least I'm not going to be devastated if they do. No, I wouldn't screw with reading. The overvoltage damage the thing, but not make impossible to read. Randoms shutting off, definitely PSU issues, possibly. The dude on the bus put some hexes on you, dude? Maybe. Hit you with the malediction in real life. Sounds like ghouls. I remember when my SSD died, Expedition 33 frames dropped to a single digits while everything else was working normally. I restarted my PC to find my SSD couldn't be detected. Damn. I had no problems like that, but again, it could have just been my PSU overvolting the SSD once it got turned back on. But I don't know why it would have manifested specifically in it overvolting the one SSD, and it's the main one, which is that's what makes me think that it was like a Windows-related thing involving file paths and it being near capacity, because everything else worked fine. The instance of it shutting off at random, I vaguely remember that happening a couple of times earlier in the year, but no, it might not have been this year. I got these parts from my friend. Somewhere around April? And I don't think that happened after I got the new stuff. I think that was shutting off and then turning back on at random when I had the other power supply and the other stuff. Like, if it were... I don't know. We going inside the SSD? Not you guys. The data recovery place might. Because, here's the thing, guys. That was my main drive. That was my main drive, and the things that were on it were... It was like 10 years worth of stuff, right? Just about. Maybe a little bit more. Or maybe a little bit less. So, there's just general random pictures that I got off the internet. I don't care too much about those, but I mean, I did like a lot of them, so I'm kind of sad that they're gone. There's the... Frick. There's a couple of things that I wrote involving stories that I wanted to flesh out and like or ideas for games, and I remember most of them, and I could rewrite like the general gist of it from memory, and I have them written down on my phone now as well, the ones that I could recall. But, you know, I had them more fleshed out on my computer. There's the various scripts and save files for Shotcut for the YouTube videos that I intended to make or have made. There's the ones in the past. There was the stuff that I was putting on TikTok. There were a couple of the stream recordings that I had. And then the real kicker, the one that's like really devastating, is just about everything that I had for this stream, like the beginning slide, the ending slide, the schedule stuff, the list of games that I was going to play from before, the list of games that I might play in the future, all of that gone. All of that is just not accessible anymore. At least until I can get the SSD sent somewhere and then brought back. This includes the stuff involving the channel mascot, Jeffrey. That one I'm really devastated about. I'm actually really sad that, like, I lost the reference sheet for it, which I can download again, because that is somewhere within, like, the Discord archives of me speaking with Umbrant, the artist that I hired to bring it fully to life, bring him fully to life. But I also lost, like, the emotes. I lost, frickin'... You know the one, the mini-me? Like, the small... Ah, frick, I lost, like, 2 instances of fan art of me. Just me, not, like, the mascot, but... Yeah, all of that, it's just... Frickin'... It's still on the drive as ones and zeros, but it's not accessible. And then I also lost my Mozilla Firefox bookmarks, but here's the part that I'm, like, wondering what can be done about this, right? So, I know that a lot of user data for settings in, say, OBS or your web browser or Foobar 2000, the thing that I use for music, all of that is saved locally somewhere within your users. I think it's, like, somewhere in the app data, maybe not, maybe, who knows? But I'm hoping that all of that can get recovered alongside everything else. If that can get recovered, then I can just, you know, copy it onto the main SSD, back up the things that I need, delete the stuff that I don't. Sorry. Delete the stuff that I don't, and then... what's it called? Get back up and running from where I left off like nothing happened. But if that's not the case, and if the data recovery off of this thing is not possible, then, I mean, we're starting from scratch again, and I have to set everything up again, and I'm gonna be... I'm pretty sad, but I'm slowly but surely creeping up to the acceptance part of it, of just the loss of everything. I also want it to be known, so the solution that I had to all of this, and the reason why I'm able to stream right now, is because 1 or 2 days ago I went out to, like, try to grab a USB to SATA connection cable, because I know that those exist, or at least I figured that they would exist, and Best Buy doesn't have that, and I wanted to also try to get another SSD. Yeah. Best Buy only has M.2 SSDs. So I wasn't able to fix that immediately with that. But Walmart, coming in clutch again, they got me the chair that I'm sitting in right now, and I've had this for a while, and I'm still digging it more than the chair that I had before that, and this one was only $60. They were selling HDDs and SSDs. The one that I got is a 2 terabyte SSD, but, I mean, I don't know about its brand name. I'm just hoping that it's, like, not going to screw me. It seems to have a very slow write speed, but I don't really care that much about its write speed, as long as the read speed is fast. So, that also came along with an SSD to USB connection. So, I used that for a couple of things. There was a very short period of time where I wanted to try to use Linux, and I wanted to try to use Linux Mint. That's what Gene Vox was talking about before. So, I really do want to switch over to it, because I don't want to switch over to Windows 11, and I just couldn't figure it out. It's just a little bit too much. There's too much that I would have to do to get, like, the same baseline level of stuff, and not to mention there's a number of programs that aren't made for that OS that, that were crucial to me, one of them being Voicemeeter Potato, because it lets me adjust my audio levels, it lets me adjust my compression, it lets me adjust certain voice effects, etc. The biggest one, the one that mattered the most to me, is splitting audio channels, because I need to be able to do that in order to make it so that you guys can hear this music that's playing right now on the live Twitch VOD channel, but then not have the same music play in the actual VOD on Twitch so that I can avoid getting DMCA struck. There is something that's like virtual audio cables on Linux, but setting that up is a little bit of a hassle, and then trying to get the program that lets me play video games is a bit of a hassle, etc. Like, everything being made for Windows is really the flaw in all of this. Like, that's the main reason why I didn't stick with trying to run Mint. It was just a little bit too difficult. Time to start coding. No. So eventually I switched back and I re-downloaded Windows 10 onto my drive, and unfortunately, whatever the hell I did involving putting Linux on it ended up making a separate about 300 megabyte partition that was empty. Not empty, that was specifically made for the Linux boot path. And I was able to delete it, but I don't know how to merge it with my main partition, with the main partition of my drive that is just where I store files and stuff. So I just kind of have to deal with that. You can do it, nerd. Coding? You're probably right, but I don't want to figure it out. There might be a config in the app data, but recovering it might not be usable still if SSD was corrupted. Stuff like bookmarks are hard to retrieve. Right. That's what your friend said, right? Why are bookmarks harder to retrieve than other stuff? Like, because the idea is everything that I had was saved into a folder, or a lot of things that I had were saved into a folder that's just on the desktop, right? The file pathing was into the users, into desktop, into everything else. So why would it be... My thought is, if you can recover the users folder, why wouldn't you be able to recover the rest of the stuff? Alright, I'm off to eat fish and rice. Have a good afternoon, Steven. Steven chat. See you next time. See ya, Moose. You don't have OneDrive? No, I disabled OneDrive. Bruh. I mean, it would have been worth it for pictures, but I don't know. It feels kind of weird having the stuff that I want on my personal computer in just my space, being in some sort of cloud that Joe Schmo is running. Especially if a lot of it is porn. MySpace. Yeah, like the website. The chances of success of it are slim since they are connected to your browser. The connection to internet plays a part. It's not just a file. Damn. This is the part where even if it's retrieved, it might not be usable. If I could just get the names of the bookmarks or whatever, then I mean, like, that's all I would really need, because I'll manually go through all of my bookmarks and resave them, but, I mean, Like, and the idea would be, the idea that you're telling me, right, is, no, I was thinking about some of the 4chan threads that I saved, but I saved, like, the actual thread itself, right? Nobody could interact with that thread past a certain point. It's just something that I have on my computer. It's different than, like, a bookmark, and it's, like, a hyperlink to whatever I'm looking for. The website would still exist, but it's like my thought is that it's a local save of whatever the pathway or whatever the starter to that hyperlink would be, and I'd be able to look for it, but, I mean, I think I can tolerate not having bookmarks and just going through those over again. But the thing that I really would like back are my settings. You put the important stuff in the cloud, not the porn. I don't. Why do you have to specify not the porn? They can probably at least retrieve the names from just looking into it? Okay, then that's what I would care about. One of the best decisions I made was letting the guy who built my PC upgrade me from 2 terabytes to 4 terabytes SSD. I thought with all the games I play, I'd run out of space, but lol, I haven't even used up 500 gigabytes yet. I've used up, after re-downloading most of my games, all of the games that I have on Steam, and one of the games that I had on Epic, I have used up 1 of my 2 terabytes, and there's only a couple more games that I intend to install. But from the looks of it, I should have a good amount of space left now. Whoa, is this one file? Huh. Sorry, I'm looking at something involving um I'm looking at something on my computer for my drives, and I'm noticing that my 400 gigabyte or 500 gigabyte SSD, the one that I have now made to stock these recordings, is now, it's got like 60 gigabytes filled, even though my recordings from my VODs are usually only like 20 gigabytes, which means that either it needs to compress it after it's finished, or I did something wrong, and that is recording at way larger of a file type than it should be. Okay, I think I messed up. Just ever so slightly. Maybe. MP4, MP3, MP2, MOV. Where's MKV? MKV timestamp V2. What is that? Frick! Alright. Damn it! MKV is high video file type, but I'm not recording an MKV right now, I don't think. I don't know... Wait, I should be. Hold on. Yeah, it's an MP4. I messed up. Frick me. Yeah. Did you name the porn folder porn? No, I named it not safe for work. I mean, I'm the only one that touches my computer. I'm the only one that cares. I don't really care. I also don't care if other people end up seeing it, I guess. Like, somebody that's close enough to get to my computer is someone that knows me well enough, right? I guess they would... If they're just some dude, if they're a dude bro that's my friend, I don't think they would want to know the kind of porn that I'm into that hard to, like, be in front of my computer and see it firsthand. And if they're a chick... I mean, I probably would have told them out loud beforehand the kind of porn that I'm into, instead of them getting their hands on my computer and then getting shocked. Should have posted it in the chords so we had it for you. Yeah? No, I don't think that would have been a good idea. Find out your top 3 tags from the names. No, they won't. But yeah, so I've been dealing with that, tearing my hair out, trying to figure out what the hell to do with my frickin' SSD. Something that I think I'm gonna do now is just store all of my games on the main SSD with the OS, and then use my other 2 SSDs, the one 500 gigabyte one for storing, the miscellaneous BS that I had on the first drive, and then the other SSD for storing specifically recordings that happen here, and deleting them whenever I can. And then the HDD that I had before is for storing the recordings for me 100%ing games and whatnot. Well, glad to have you back, I guess. You guess? Your Chungus life brings me great joy. Good to hear. I'm glad that... Oh, I almost forgot to mention this. So... I don't know why this took me so long. So, at that Beasties meetup, one of the dudes one of the dudes had a bunch of 3D printed stuff. And one of those 3D printed things was a 3D printed bug bro. So I ended up with this, and I don't really know how, because another person was gonna have it, but I mean, he was just being nice and he let me have it instead. So you know, I got a 3D printed version of my Kami Oshi's mascot. That's just kind of sitting on my desk, and I'm not sure what to do with it next. You know, all of this might be because of this freaking Goku sticker that I put on my computer's case before I left. I had that sticker in my wallet for a while. It's the one that I got from MomoCon. And then I noticed that it was sliding off of the back thing that keeps the adhesive from like touching anything else. So I said, okay, I gotta stick this to something. Boom, side of my PC, and then guess what happened? I'll be judging you during Silksong streams. Don't abuse the bug bro. I wasn't planning on it. That one sticker is all it took to overheat it? Maybe, dude. And what's crazy is it's over my optical drive out of everything. If you were to directly drill into my PC over that sticker, then it would be... You would be drilling into probably nothing first, but it's like just below my optical drive. And that doesn't work. That hasn't worked for years. I think it's because I had my phone on top of my optical drive, or the area on my case with my optical drive, for a really long time, and it would vibrate, and it probably just shook the thing until it just stopped working. But I didn't really care. There weren't very many instances of me needing to put a computer in or a disk into my computer for a long time. Still haven't been. Plus, if I need to watch a movie or something, then I can just toss my frickin' disc into my PlayStation 3. It's nothing but a souped-up Blu-ray player anyway. By the way, guys, let me know, how much do you like this layout, this new layout that I have now, with the chat and myself? Is it any better or worse? I feel like it's better. Mom TV, question marks? Oh, as in, you're on the TV now. I see, haha. Way better IMO. I like it? Okay. I noticed that I can't read Dog the Dog's name on it, mostly because his name is black, and I'm using, actually, you know what? I want to know how many of you recognize this. I know Sir Salsal is going to recognize it, but don't tell him what it is, Sir Salsal. Do you know what that is? I don't even remember the old one. Okay. Kingdom Hearts place, I think. You're right, but where specifically? It's the beach that Mickey left Aqua on. Okay, that's... Yeah, but that's not quite the name of it. Something something Aqua. That was almost correct. Almost. But yeah, I think I like it a bit more as a background than the KOF place. So I guess I'm going to roll with that one. Whether or not I should place this here for everything, though, is a big question mark. I wanted something a little bit more custom, but, I mean, I kind of got to work with what I have, you know? No longer can we KOF background with Mai's titties on the poster? What? Can we see? Oh. Is there anything else of note to discuss? I mean, my mother's birthday was not too long ago, so you guys should wish my mother a happy birthday. Merry Christmas to those of you guys that celebrate Christmas, and happy holidays to everyone that doesn't. Speaking of which, I was at a party on Christmas, but I don't think I don't think I need to say, but I was pretty distracted for pretty much the duration of that party. Oh, by the way, will you be looking at the Strives thing? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Let's look at that, and then let's end the stream. Because, I mean, there's more stuff that I gotta look into involving data recovery places, and, setting up the streams so that I can actually continue streaming for a while, you know? Continue streaming while I'm set back with everything that's gone. Look at the things that are after Lucy. Everything is about 2.0. Guilty Gear English news post. 3-hour yap sesh. Yeah, I had a lot to say. I can probably remove all of these pictures from my heckin'... Or I can close them now. I should save them on my computer, but I'll do that after I get everything organized. Okay, that's good. So what's up with this? Guilty Gear Strive, developer's backyard. Approach 20 whatever, elite hacker, cyberspace surfer, mysterious netrunner, ease of use, etc. Future updates. With version 2.0 and beyond, our goal is not simply to adjust characters or add new content, but to prepare updates that offer a refresh overall experience, one that feels engaging, almost like picking up a new game. This does not mean that everything will change all at once. Rather, we see version 2.0 as a milestone and opportunity to review and refine what we have built so far and to take the next step forward to Guilty Gear Strive. Regarding player development, playable characters. Planning to add one new playable character as part of the version 2.0 update. It's either Jam or Robokai, right? In the trailer revealed at EVO 2025, we briefly touched on upcoming characters, including those we expect to deliver new playable characters gradually, and we also plan to continue adding characters and updates beyond version 2.0. Specific timing and details will be shared at a later date. Battle balance philosophy. As updates have accumulated over time, we recognize that particularly through universal mechanics, the overall level of character performance was gradually increased. 2.0 first priorities bring... Okay. Where's the... Tenjin, what's the quick rundown? Where's the important stuff? Because I'm not going to read this entire thing. Particularly regarding Wild Assault, we are reassessing its role and position as a universal mechanic, taking into account how the environment has evolved since its introduction. From the perspective of making the game easier to understand and more satisfying to play, especially for newcomers, we are carefully reviewing how this mechanic should function within the broader experience. Okay. You were reading the important stuff right now? Okay, well, frick me. First priority is to bring these heightened performance levels back to appropriate range with the goal of establishing the battle environment that functions in a healthier and more stable way overall. From there, we will review elements where the balance between risk and reward has become unclear, as well as areas where gameplay has tended to favor overly specific actions or choices, resulting in a narrower range of decision-making. For a small number of characters, we are also considering changes that go beyond standard tuning, including potential reworks. Huh. What does that mean for a character like Ava? Standard tuning and potential reworks. Like the same thing that you just did to Potemkin without warning? Abba's Blue Wild Assault is getting touched 100%. Why? I don't even think that was that powerful for her. Well, I mean, it was, but that wasn't like the thing that made or broke the character. Not from my perspective. Maybe at a higher level, it was. Potemkin or Ram, you're wrong? Okay, then. Everyone was carried aware. What made her so crazy with Blue Wild Assault? Because I was more inclined to save it for Burst or something. Blue Wild Assault allows her to enter JR and B+. Oh, right. So I guess against some of the characters that are slower or need to actually play neutral, you could just do that and then you win. But versus someone like Asuka or any other character that can keep you away efficiently, it would probably be a little bit more difficult. New moves for exiting existing characters. We're planning to add new moves for Soul Bad Guy, Kai Kisuke, Nagoriyuki, and Leo Whitefang. Why? These moves have already reached an implementation stage, and we are currently conducting thorough testing and final adjustments within the version 2.0 battle environment. When is this scheduled to release? You can do Far Heavy, 236D, 63214A, and 2P and B+. That's crazy. Those 4 are the only characters out of the basic ones that didn't have new moves. Oh, okay. That explains why those ones are being added. Expanding play rewards. To further support player motivation, we are working on expanding rewards systems. Like? In addition to existing fishing feature, we're developing new ways for players to earn rewards based on their gameplay. The only thing that I really care about is the same thing that you had in Exerd. I really, like, straight up, Exerd's UI is probably one of the best that I've ever seen in any fighting game. Like, I really want the random announcer back. Like, you could fish, and from the fishing, pull in random announcers. And, like, they would be characters in the game, right? There would be freaking Soul, Kai, Bedman, etc. And you would be able to set it so that the announcer is random rather than just the default or just a specific character. I wish BlazBlue Central Fiction had that feature, because I do want to hear other characters say things and not just the default. I only run the default because I don't want to hear a specific character talk. And then there's a matter of, like, the emotes in the lobbies for Exerd. There's the matter of the big thing that I've discussed multiple times, where the game will tell you if your opponent is running stylish. Why doesn't BlazBlue Central Fiction do that? Oh my god, I hate it here. What the heck? Wait, hold on. There was a flash drive on my desk and I don't know where it went. Oh, never mind. Found it. I know MK1 did that. The character announcers would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. That's why. And do you mean, like, MK1 tells you if your opponent is using stylish? Alright, bro, you're bouncing on it. God forbid I sing anything's praise. God forbid anyone sing anything's praise in this day and age. If you could garden in GG Strive, what would that even entail? Important takes from this are: 1, character reworks, might be Happy Chaos, might be something else. We don't know who will get it. 2, new moves. 3, updates beyond and more than just 2 characters based on wording. 4, they are planning on adding more in the future, which tells me we're from it being done. I think you missed the word. What's wrong with that? Bouncing on it? Depends on what you're bouncing on, and I guess who. In this case, apparently it's bad to bounce on Exerd's cock. That's news to me. Lol, what a shame. Have you played Exerd, Eva? Quality of life improvements. We will continue making incremental improvements to overall usability. Examples include increasing the number of items that can be obtained at once through fishing. Why? It's already at 10. As well as optimizing early battle stages to reduce load and improve performance. This is definitely needed. This is definitely needed. I'm getting very tired of playing on that 1-3 Kings level. Focusing on areas players interact with on a daily basis. Addressing bad manners. What are you going to do about this? Only a little bit, hence why I fell in love with Ellie. Oh, Elfelt? Was disappointed with her in Strive rendition. Yeah. I feel like that's how a lot of people that played Baiken also felt. Because, you just alienated everyone that liked them in the previous iteration pretty hard. 5. Important to keep in mind that changes might be big, from adding Gatlings, normals, changing IAD speed, and more. This can be anything. And 6, I guess they really want to fight people doing RQs. Continuing to review measures against disruptive behaviors such as intentional disconnects. Okay, it's not people like taunting or things like that. When such behavior is confirmed, the operations team applies responses such as network restrictions or ranking exclusions. Damn! In addition, we are developing systems that allow for faster detection and more appropriate handling of these cases. Some of the topics discussed here may not be ready in time for the initial release of version 2.0. For those elements, we are considering implementation and future updates beyond version 2.0 while carefully reviewing priorities and development timelines. The topics introduced here represent only a portion of what we are preparing for 2.0. There are still elements we are not ready to talk about yet, but we hope to share more as development progresses. Hey, can someone tell me the time gap between Guilty Gear Xrd Sign and Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator, as well as Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2? Because that game, like, Xrd Sign was the first iteration of that type of Guilty Gear, right? And then we had the advancement to Xrd Revelator, which was sold as a completely new game because of how many changes they made. And then we had Rev 2, which was just an update for Revelator, and that was free, but the characters weren't. And ultimately, sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning right now. But ultimately, like, the time gap, I'm wondering if this is the Guilty Gear Strive equivalent. Because I'm wondering if there are multiple years. GG Strive came out when? A number of years ago. But it's a little bit strange to see this game get this much support for this long. But I guess it's the same idea as the thing that we would do with previous fighting games, where, like, Street Fighter 4 had Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 3DS, and then Ultra Street Fighter 4. And then Street Fighter 5 went through all of its stuff and then went up to Arcade Edition, and that lasted a good number of years, and they more than doubled the roster in its time. Sorry if that's, like, really loud. Steven, stop making me tired. I can't. I like hearing it. My knuckles crack. You'd be the first woman to tell me that. Future support for Nintendo Switch Edition. I don't care about that. And that's it. That's pretty crazy, though. Huh. So GG is about to get, like, a massive revamp, more than likely. I hope it's not like a frickin' nothing burger the same way that Grand Blue was. But I kind of trust, the GG devs to not do that. Sign was 2014, Rev was 2016, Rev 2 was 2017. When did GG Strive release? Not gonna lie, if Biken didn't have massive titties, I don't think I'd play her. Come on, man. I guess I'm a Bridget main now? What? It's okay if he bounces on it in the privacy of his own home, but I don't want to see it, bruh. She just wasn't as well-rounded as her Xrd rendition. I love her and really want to main her, but I need a DP apparently, so. Dude, you and me frickin' both. Oh wait, you're talking about Dragon Punch. For stages, so the issue with all stages is it unloads all of it at all points of the game. Three Kings stage unloads them during wall break and doesn't keep them unloaded at all times, making it more important. Why would they not have the stage load and stay produced to use for later? Like, why? What? That doesn't make any sense. Unless the stages are massive. It would make a little bit more sense if that were the case. What does DP stand for in your mind? Degenerate person. Guess I'm a Bridget main now? What the heck? Why? By the way, some people have already been banned from ranked. Part of it is already in action for people who DC too much. Wow. I like hearing it, but it also makes me think it hurts. It doesn't. If it did, then I'd be cracking, and then you'd hear me go, ah! But I'm not. So, all this makes me think that BB is still not being thought about since they don't want these two to compete. Why would they not want that? Hello? Internal competition is still big. That would still, like, drive sales. Sounds like they're de-yassifying the game. Don't get your hopes up too quickly. We don't know what it's going to look like in, like, however long. Because Three Kings is the smallest stage, so it can unload quickly enough. As long as hitting. Because of the DP, Steven, and her all-around nature. What? Oh. I was still thinking... Because of the whole thing that I said about Bridget and the talent inside me. Ay, ay, ay. Imagine working. Couldn't be me. Because it would be taking one from the other. Let's be honest here. If they say, hey, here's BlazBlue Central... BlazBlue Calamity Fiction 6. It's not going to be good. It will compete in Strive and Tokon. With Strive and Tokon, nobody wants that. True. True. But my thought is, like, how many people do you really need to develop these games? You make them look pretty, and I guess you need a whole lot of people to model the stages, because they're probably massive and a lot of his perspective stuff, but at the same time, like, can you not have people that are dedicated to be making stuff like BlazBlue and some another team that's dedicated to be making Strive and then etc. And then if you need to shuffle some people around, then shuffle them around, but don't chain them to a project and don't like I don't know. I'm not part of the business. I can't really say what should and should not happen, but at the same time, I feel like this shouldn't be that difficult. Not gonna lie, I'm 60 hours into Assassin's Creed Shadows and starting to feel it. Feel what? The bean kicked in? Arxis are not a big company. A reminder: they work on DBFZ, Granblue, Strive, Tokon, and involved with Uni a bit. That's a lot, man, and all have quality and refinement. Plus, something makes me think Arxis Corpse view it as rogue, like as a roguelike due to BBEE's success with BBEE. What view what as a roguelike? Like BlazBlue? That'd be a weird one. BlazBlue Entropy Effect BEEX is coming out soon. It's a new game. And it's sold almost 3 times CF did. Oh, you mean like ArcSys has probably dropped BlazBlue as a fighting game franchise because Entropy Effect has been so successful. Like they no longer feel the need to make fighting games for it. Damn, that would suck a little bit. Or maybe it's fine. I don't know. I still really wish, like, straight up, I really wish that BlazBlue Central Fiction got one extra patch. Just one. 3.0, if they just adjusted a couple of minor things, then I think that would be, like, the perfect fighting game. Like, reduce the value for barrier um, reduce the amount of berry that you have. Reduce some, just like some frame data involving some characters, and then you have like the freaking perfect game. Maybe add unlimited for everybody, but I don't really care that much about that one. Come work for me then. I don't want to be pimped out unless it's to you. What the hell is wrong with you, bro? Anyway, I think that's it. So I told you guys everything that went on. Told you what's up with my SSD. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my stream schedule. I could sort of return to the normal, like to normalcy, sort of, but it's a little bit difficult to do so. Definitely need to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my freaking bitrate right now. Because like I said before, for some reason I am outputting at double the normal amount. Honestly, just make this your final stream. It was a good run. What the heck? I thought you said you liked my company. Steven, you fumbled 3 times in one weekend. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. I fumbled once, twice, sort of a third, but one of them I had no chance in the first place because she had a boyfriend. The graduation stream. I made graduation. Who is live that I can send you guys to? Pumpkin Potion is just chatting. Cerno's playing Voices of the Void. Ashton Martin is sleeping. Never mind. Rainbow Mo is playing Final Fantasy. Zone Sama is playing Pokemon Sapphire. Wait, we leaving? Yeah. Yeah. It's okay though, Strong. Hop on Marvel. I need a Venom to dive with me. I've been playing Magic lately. I mean, maybe. Yes, he said he kinda hates us and will not be back. True! I'm sending you guys to Cerno. Could have sent you guys to Bodega Rat. She's playing Duet Night Abyss, which I only know some of. But yeah, no, I'm sending you guys to Cerno. Where is the raid channel button? Here you were. I gotta say, guys, it's a nice feeling being gone for like a week and then coming back and seeing all of you guys like come out of the woodwork. I feel like I don't state it enough because I don't really state it at all, but like I do appreciate you guys spending your time watching me and whatnot. It does feel nice. It feels nice that I can leave and you don't just forget about me while I'm gone. Hmm. Uh, Swear if you say another Y to me playing Magic, Something something Russian? Where's magic from? Is this a microaggression? Am I gonna get canceled? Get him, boys. Also, I was thinking about saying why about magic. I just didn't do it. Can't believe he's a Nazi. Wait, hang on. Where did this come from? Anyway, like I said, starting the raid. Uh, as for the schedule, what's going on? Frickin'. So I don't know what the rest of the week is going to be looking like. I honest to God have no clue. If I can figure out how to return things to the norm, then I mean, I guess things are going to return to the norm for a while until I get my stuff back, and then they'll return to the norm. But if not, then I mean, I guess not. Then we're waiting until I get my old SSD back, or the data from my old SSD back, and then we continue from that point. Uh, yeah. If you guys got anything to say to me, or anyone else who's decided to join, or you would like to know when I go live, hit up the Discord below the stream. If you click the picture that says Discord, but I'm going to go organize a number of things, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, or night, whatever time it might be for you. Frick me, I'm brain farting. Oh my god, get it together, me. Yeah. Goodbye.